Welcome along to the Undercut Realistic Series once more. We are here for Season 3, round number 12 of the season at the French Grand Prix. 39 points separate the championship leaders, and today we could see that gap either cut down or extended by our championship contenders of Pluto and Jab. If you don't know who I am Ryan Ocon 31, and usually I'd have Lando Norris joining me today, but he is not feeling too well. Therefore, our backup commentator, Burning Man, is here. Welcome along.
Hello again. It's been a while.
It has, but it's good to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back after a couple of failed races.
Yeah, definitely. I think Surfy's joining soon. We'll see. Let me see if he's on.
Keep saying he's still
Should be
offline
just a
for me.
moment. Should be just a moment. Yeah, he's doing the same for me. But anyway, continuing on the racing side of the spectrum, we have got to talk about a couple of things. Obviously, the last week has been quite interesting. Jab won his first race in Spain, and because of that, that allowed Jab to extend his championship lead over Pluto. 39 points between them. It was originally 46. His fastest lap was taken away, so that obviously changed everything. And once that happened, we saw a completely different championship look, with Jab taking advantage of the virtual safety car, winning the race, winning his first race. Matty and Chungus both collided on the last lap, which allowed Pluto through for second place. Bigger championship gap it would have been if it weren't for that. That was a big factor in everything that had happened. Not only that, but the championship standings changed 46 to 39 points. Haas, with their 2-3 finish, extended their constructors lead. So we've got quite the show going on. Williams Red Bull still battling it out for third, and even closing on AlphaTauri for second place in this championship. Not only that, but we have a couple of penalties to be served. Quite a bit with people in this lobby. We're going to go over that, and then after we go over that, we can start the lobby because Surfy will be joining mid-qualifying.
Alright.
So our penalties to be served include the drivers who are racing today, including TJR with 8 seconds of penalties, Thrasher with 5, and It's Shot with a 1-shot qualifying and a 5-second time penalty to be served today.
I reckon it's going to be difficult for Shot to get some good points here then. With 1 shot in 5 seconds.
And TJR, fast-paced in the Red Bull
Yeah.
recently, so...
But especially difficult for Shot with that amount of pens. He's got to push hard if he wants some
Well,
good points.
It was a bummer he couldn't make Spain because that's a good track for him. It's a wheel track, shots on wheel, and that was definitely one that can change the lobby back to invite only, by the way, since you were able to do that for Will quickly.
Yep.
Since we're going.
Quickly changing it. Oh, there you are.
Anyway, let's go over some previous history of this track, by the way, before we ready up here. We should be readying up here in just a moment. So previous history. Did I say it already up, or am I just...
Yeah, you did say it already up. I think it's because
I
it got
did.
changed to invite only. Everyone doesn't realise that it's on radio.
That may be why. That may be why. All right, well, let me just give the clarity to them.
Yeah.
You had to yeah, there you go. You had to change some of the lobby settings. There we go. We're good. So, previous history of this track. Let's go over that. Season 1. Well, we're going to avoid the topic with you, Jamie, for now. But Season 1. Pluto had an amazing start from 5th place, was about to take the lead, and did for just a second. But Aaron Ocon had the lead, spun out at turn 2, collected Pluto, in a wreck that was lucky to only involve 2-3 cars. And Pluto is at the back of the field, battling for barely any points that whole race. And Sam Steed leading the race, looking like he was going to win. He did win the race, but the championship also changed in that race as well, funny enough. And the reason the championship changed, or was going to change as much as it was because Pluto was so far back that the championship gap could have been even closer. This could have decided the championship, or it could have decided Sam being ahead at the final race at Portugal compared to Pluto being ahead. So that was why that was so important for that safety car to come out, caused by T Blossom crashing on purpose. That was so important to allow Pluto to take a podium finish at Lanch and that championship gap Sam only beat him by 10 points that race, when it could have easily been a good 20. Very, very interesting way of that race that was. Season 2, it was a wet race. Polo God took a podium from 16th on the grid. Atlantis took a podium on the last lap after some post-race pens to Reese Cracker. Sam spun on the final lap after contact with Reese Cracker. Reese Cracker overtook Riles in her safety car, which allowed a penalty to be given to him. And Rowdy was third on the last lap, looking for a first podium. The penultimate corner lags out, car goes straight on, and his podium is over. That was the closest he was to a single podium in URS, and he has yet to get one since. We'll have to see if he can do it today. And we spoke about you in Season 2, Jamie. Well, you caused a safety car, and it was kind of a controversial one.
I think it's safe to say Pluto was not happy about that.
Pluto disqualified under that safety car, and really the only championship, contender who had a good and non-mistake race was Riles. Riles out front took his first win in the Ferrari on the 22nd of May last season, and Sam, championship leader at the time, I believe it was, or championship contender, in trouble, spun out. Pluto, championship contender, just qualified from the race, his only non-points finish in the league. Davis, he finished in the points, but it was not easy for him. It was back and forth. Trouble with the tire he was on at the right time, the wrong time. It was a mess for Davis. Riles was the only one to excel, and that allowed him to catch up in the championship. Every single season that France has been run, we have seen so many championship troubles with drivers to where this season, a 39-point gap from Pluto to Jab could turn very much into a 16-point gap, a 12-point gap. Who knows? I mean, maybe not 12, but that's very unlikely. But anything can happen. With the way this championship can be going, all it takes is for Pluto to have a little bit of trouble today, and that could be the difference. So you see it's shot right now on the track with his one-shot qualifying. He has to get out there immediately. I've not seen anything about weather just yet. I am waiting to look because I don't want anybody trolling me now. So, Thrasher reserving in the Ferrari. He's making his second reserve appearance. He has a penalty to be served. Florian Foley was not here last week. He returned to the Alpine once again. Shot also returning to the McLaren once again as well. You also have Atlantis reserving in the AlphaTauri, making his second start of the season. Podium in every season here. We'll have to see if he can go for 3 for 3. CJR returning after a couple weeks. And FGE Stenner making his first start in the Williams, replacing Chungus for this week. So he's also reserved, couple reserves in this race for a couple drivers. Surfy should be joining the session a little bit late. Let me just make sure I can give him an invite now. And then once we do, we'll go on board with Shot's lap, his one-shot qualifying lap, to decide if he can make it through to Q2. This is where it all starts here. 15.5 minutes left in this qualifying session. Time for its shot to decide the benchmark. Time for him to decide to stop almost on the racetrack to get ready for his flying lap. Second gear, third gear now. Through the final corner with DRS applied, he will start his lap. This is a tough one at this track because you have to set up the lap perfect. Turn 2 is going to be the first part where drivers may struggle. Drivers may lose the rear. Davis did that in his one-shot qualifying lap last season in this race. Shot executed through there. You have to keep it valid if you're going to want to have a good one-shot lap to put you into Q2. Shot now coming through turn 3. Turn 4, you can see he's taking it easy, and he kind of has to. If he wants to have a chance to make it through to Q2, that's what he has to do. 23-1 to the first sector. A lot of the times I've been seeing and a lot of the times I've been doing with Sam in practices have been anywhere from a 22-6 to a 22-9. So Shot is taking it very careful through the first couple of corners in Sector 1. Now he's going to enter the chicane. How much aggressive is he going to take this? Not too aggressive. Coming to the inside curve. Fourth gear through there. Good on the traction. And he's going to set himself up for the Sector 2 split, which will be a 51.5. A little bit slower, but it is going to be our benchmark time in the McLaren. Now Shot's going to come through the long right-hander. He went through the fast right-hand already. Now the long right-hander. He has to be careful through here. You could tell Shot is being careful of any slides, any spins, any invalidations in this lap because he wants to set a lap, even if it's 14th or 15th fastest, by the end of the session, he knows that he'll get himself through to Q2 to set himself up for a good qualifying. Even though he has one chance to do it, this is his one chance at a lap. Here he comes to the penultimate corner, now the final corner, second gear, clobbers the inside curb, third gear, fourth, up the gears he goes with DRS applied, gonna come to the start-finish line, going all the way to the left. Shot will set the benchmark time. That is a 32.8. Not the fastest we've seen, but Davis, last season with his one-shot qualifying, did not make it through to Q2 at all. He was out in Q1. And so was Polo God. And I believe Pluto might have been too? Maybe? Was it Pluto who was out in qualifying last year at this race? Q1? Might have been.
Sure.
Not sure. Speaking of
He's
Pluto, I
coming
could
through
see
to set
Thrasher's
his
running.
lap.
I was going to say, Thrasher is also starting a lap, so let's go on board with the Ferrari driver who has a penalty to be served. Comes through turn 2 now in the Ferrari. Enters turn 3. Let's see what Thrasher can do. Chat, welcome along to this race. We have a 32.6 being set by Rowdy. Welcome along to this weekend, chat. Keep us notified who you're supporting in chat. Keep us notified as well as Thrasher goes really wide right there. 22.8 in the first sector. But yeah, keep us notified who you're supporting. Keep us notified on who you think will be out in Q1 or even on pole today. Thrasher will enter the chicane now. Comes to the chicane. Now, TGR sets the benchmark time at 32.3. Thrasher at the middle sector is going to be at 51.3, sorry. Now, fast right-hander. Coming to the long right-hander for Thrasher. Has to nail the inside curb, or at least get close to it in order to execute some lap time. 3 drivers with laps already. We're going to see a 4th pretty soon here. Schott has now retired from the session in the pit lane because that was his one and only chance at a lap. He's slowest so far out of everybody. Next up to cross the line is an AlphaTauri. That will be, I believe, Atlanta starting a lap, but Thrasher comes to complete his lap at the final corner. He's going to take 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Up the gears he will go. Coming to the start-finish line now. How well executed was this one? This will be 2nd fastest right behind TJR, his good friend. Next up to start a lap will be Blue Goggy and the Alfa Romeo. DRS will be applied already. His ERS is already draining down. Surfy lagging out already. You're going to need to get him an invite. But here comes Goggy through turn 1 already. Has to get a little bit of the inside curb. Has to get some curb right here. He does the outside. Luckily, does not invalidate. Looks like he was 4 tires off for just a moment. Now it comes to turn 3. You have to nail these couple of corners. Very easy to invalidate at turn 3. Same with turn 4 if you take too much of the left side curb. And right here, you could lose the rear on the inside curb. Luckily, Goggy did not. 22.8 in his Alfa Romeo through sector 1. 22.6, 22.7, 22.8. That's what we'll see a lot through sector 1 with these drivers setting good sector times. Speaking of setting good times, Pluto to the top of the board with 32.1. Surfy has now rejoined the session, so he will have a chance to get into a car. Now, Goggy coming through the chicane. Does not lose the rear there. Comes on exit. Clips a little bit of the curb. Aaron Ocon goes faster than his teammate, but Goggy sets himself up for Sector 2. It's a 51.0. That may be fastest from what we've seen from people so far. Sam Steed has not crashed out yet. He set a lap time. 5th place for him. He's ahead of Rowdy and Schott, both McLarens. Now, Goggy coming through the long right-hander. Clips the inside curb just a little bit. How committed is he going to be through this lap? Atlantis is 5th fastest. He is 4/10 within the front of the field. And what we saw last season with Q1 was a completely close Q1. 4/10 between the drivers. These drivers who've set laps so far are very close indeed. Goggy could be the one to change that and even get closer to the front of the field. Final corner for Goggy. 3rd gear. That's a bit different from what we've seen so far. Now, Goggy under the run to the start-finish line. All the way hugging the left side. White line. Goggy will go fastest. That's a 31.9. That will be the time to beat for Q1. Starting a lap is Will Cromack, who's right behind that. Will Cromack, the inside curb, the right side curb, the outside. What can he do in his Mercedes? He said he struggled a lot in this car to start the season. Well, he said this is one of his better tracks. We'll have to see what he could do. How well can he execute turn 3, 4, now on the run to 5? You know, I noticed you can't clip that yellow part or else you're going to lose the rear completely and spin out. Luckily, Will did not do that, but he's running wide at turn 5 and 6 and 7. He set a 22.9 at sector 1. Purple for him considering he's not set a lap, but currently he's one of 11 drivers yet to set a lap. Yes, I did include Surfy there if you're wondering, because he's not in a car just yet. He's trying to get in a car, it looks like, but cannot do so. Now, at the sector split for Will Cromack, 51.2 for him. So losing a little bit of time compared to our front runners. Surfy leaving and rejoining once again. But now Will Cromack, fast right-hander, long right-hander. How committed will he be? What kind of gears will he go with? 5th gear. Keeps it in 5th gear the whole time. Goes to the outside curb. Ryle's set a lap. He's 9th fastest. He splits the McLarens. He may have to go again. Will Cromack already darting to the right side, doing what he can do to find some lap time. Now to the left side of the curb. Now the inside curb doesn't clobber it like we've seen a couple other drivers do. 2nd gear though, 3rd gear, up the gears to the start-finish line now. Committing to the left side like everyone else has. His URS already very low. He crosses the line. He will actually be 3rd fastest, so that's actually not a bad lap from Will Cromack. They're Florian Foley crossing the line. We'll wait to see our other drivers setting laps. Florian Foley goes faster than his teammate. And we'll be splitting the Ferraris. Next up is Sam Cedar on a lap. No, he's staying out, though. Is he going for a lap? Let's see. I think he is. 4th gear at the final corner. Oh, he slides! And he gets damage. Sam says, surely there's not anywhere for me to crash at this track. Well, you just did. Luckily, you're still in the session, though. But the difference between him and his Alfa Romeo teammate is 6/10 right there. Who's that on a lap? Who's that starting a lap? Turn 1. Jab! Jab, our championship contender, 2nd place in the championship. Comes through turn 1, comes through turn 2. Let's see what he could do. Trying to find time anywhere on this track. That's not hard to do. But that's not so easy to do either. Depends on what car you're in. Depends on how you can hook up the lap. Many different lines to take to this racetrack, especially when you're in dirty air. Jab now through turn 4. 23-0 at the sector. Also, I think someone else set a lap, or am I wrong? No, I am wrong. Jab deploys the URS, though, down this little back straight. 65% already in the URS. An important thing to mention about URS, though, when you pit in this race is you don't save a whole lot. You really don't. However, it depends on what you do on your outlap. If you do a good outlap, or a mediocre outlap, that can also determine how much you really save in the URS. You could save up anywhere from 15 to 20, maybe 25% at the most. Jab 51.4 through the sector now. Not too great from Jab, but he's setting just the minimum of what he can do. We know Jeb can go faster. No practice, so this is really his practice. And he's got through to Q3 every single time, excluding the one time he had the one-shot qualifying. Now Jab. 4th to last corner. Now to the 3rd to last corner. Now coming to the penultimate corner. Gonna brake later than the 50-meter board. Committing to the inside curb. Gonna commit to the right side curb, I think. Touches it just a little bit. Now, is he going to commit to the left side like other drivers have? No, he's going to be straight in the middle of the track. Coming to the line now for Jab. What's this going to be? Jab will set a 32.5. He may have to go again. Matty Mimo goes fastest. 31.8. Beats his brother. The top of the board.
That's
Next sort of lap should be... Floyd, maybe? No, it's Stenner. Stenner, but did he invalidate to come in the pits, or is he starting a lap now? I think he's gonna start a lap now.
Is he?
Yeah, it's him then Joseph. Speaking of Joe does go 5th, QBR 20. Joe does. Now we're gonna watch Stenner in his first start. Go on board with him. 5 minutes remaining in this session. Here's Stenner starting a lap. Right side. We also saw Joseph set a lap. Joseph goes 3rd fastest. A little bit of pace in that AlphaTauri. We saw in the social race event earlier in this game cycle, Joseph had strong pace. Joseph had a good start. Joseph did what he can. And in my predictions, he was one who I thought was going to win this race. So we'll see what he can do, if he can live up to that. Now Stenner, the right side. 23-0 at the sector split, similar to what Jab did. So he's got to find the time to beat Jab and not be in the elimination zone by sector 2. See what kind of improvement he could do. Speaking of being out, or that elimination zone, shot is out unless anybody gets disqualified. Paulo God currently in the pit lane. A little slide there for Stenner. Does he back off completely? I think he's going to keep going, but he slides and spins it. Oh! Around he goes. And that'll be it for now. Gagi retires from the session thinking he's safe. Calm is on an outlap. So let's talk to Gagi. Let's see what he feels about his lap currently. And what his teammate's feeling currently, because his teammate's also on an outlap, and he's also in a party with him, I believe, too. I believe there are always some parties for races, but since he retired from the session, thinking he's safe, we're going to give him an interview. We're going to do one now. We're going to go quick with this, too. If he joins. Hope he joins. Tom is also on a lap now, by the way. He is one yet to set a lap. He's in the elimination zone. Stenner, I think, is going to complete this lap at least. He'll at least set a lap, I'm pretty sure, but won't be a representative one either. Gagi, welcome along.
Hello.
Good to see you. Hello. So, you are second fastest right now in the session. You think you're safe. Com goes purple to Sector 1. But, I must ask you, how are you feeling into this race? And how's your teammate feeling as we stand right now?
Yeah, feeling pretty confident. Did a 50% yesterday. See tire wear and stuff like that. Yeah, I think my fastest lap was a 31.5 in short quality, although I think I can improve on that. Oh, Matty's just retired as I say that. But yeah, Sam, haven't heard too much from him actually. He was cheering that he didn't spin on his first lap, so yeah, hopefully he can do a better lap and have a good battle with him, or just do well, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Berman, you got any questions for Gagi?
Where do you reckon you're gonna qualify?
I mean, top 10 has to be a minimum. I mean, that's became my requirement for most quali sessions. But yeah, I think I can get top 5, maybe battling Matty for a pole, maybe. But yeah, should be good.
I must say, Gagi, just to cut in there for a moment, the Mercedes are looking very fast with a car that barely has any straight line speed at the front of the field. Anyway, we wish you good luck for the race.
Thank you.
Hope you're the best, and have fun, and enjoy yourself. This will be a long one, I hope.
Yeah, bye.
Especially with that DRS train, yeah. Good. Bye-bye. Have fun. You know, I spoke about the DRS train. I think we are going to get some DRS trains here at this track, surely. I don't know what you think, Jamie, but I think we're going to see at least a couple. Maybe split into groups. Maybe not directly 1st to 19th. I don't think it'll be like that, of course, but I think we'll get some groups of DRS trains, and who's ever the smartest, whoever manages it just right, will probably be the one to come out on top. And it looks like it'll be an easy medium hard too for the race as well from drivers. I don't expect any different with the tires.
Let's just hope the game doesn't cause another safety car from what happened.
However, yeah, Sam Steed is going 10th fastest and may get out of Q1 for the first time in quite a while. Sam Steed has just gone ahead of Florian Foley, Thrasher, Atlantis, and Jab. That's who he was separated by. And GSR Riles has retired from the session. I don't know if that's on track or not. However, he is out of qualifying. Riles is out in Q1. Now we have Jab currently on a lap. He is currently in the toward the cutoff zone right now. Comes through turn 2. He's going to have to set a better lap than this to get out of qualifying. Rowdy is too. So will Stenner, who's yet to set a lap. Polo God also on an out lap, so he's saving his best and only lap for last. Now Jab coming through turns 4 and 5. At the sector split, he's up a 10th. So Jab could set himself up a really good lap here and go toward the top of the board and make sure he's safe fully. Now, the final corner there, up until the back straight, did that very well. Now he's got to set himself up the braking zone. Where is he going to brake here? 100-meter board, 50-meter board, in between there, maybe 75 meters there. Now to the inside curb, a little bit of traction loss there, or a little bit of a snap from Jab. Very slight, but not a whole lot. He's still going faster, 2/10 up. TJR is also on a lap. He's currently 8th fastest, trying to improve, making sure he's safe. Everyone else from 8th on back is on track, except for the 2 who have retired. They can't confirm that Shot is out of qualifying. So is Riles. Now Jab coming through the last 4 corners. Checker flag is out for the drivers. Will, he's good. Sam, he's good. They've both already completed the checker flag. They may be safe, they may not be safe. However, Jab, we'll find out if he will be. Coming to the final corner, to the start-finish line. This time, still in the middle of the track. Where's he gonna go? Jab goes 4th fastest, he will be safe. Next up to cross the line is the Red Bull of TJR. He will be safe for sure. Next up is the AlphaTauri, I believe. That is... Or no, that's not the AlphaTauri. That's the Ferrari. That's either Thrasher or Aaron. That'll determine if they're safe. Rowdy on the elimination zone. Right on the cutoff. 15th fastest. Aaron Ocon crossed the checker flag. Can't get any faster. I believe that's Florian Foley. Gonna cross the line. He will get faster. And Polo God will be safe. Polo God goes ahead of TJR. He is in, knocking Atlantis in the pit lane out of qualifying. Rowdy knocks Thrasher out. Can Thrasher get through? Can Florian get through? Thrasher, 43,000 stuff. He cannot get through. Florian Foley crosses the line. Florian Foley, he will get through. Stenner was the one who I mistake Florian Foley for, but he is through as well.
Surfy's having major issues, won't let him take control of the car.
Well, it should let him by the race at least.
Yeah.
But out of qualifying, look at the close qualifying.
Wow,
Wow,
that's extremely close.
5/10. Out in the Aston Martin, did not get to set a lap. Shot in the McLaren. There was no surprise there, especially with this one shot. The Ferrari, a thrasher, out of qualifying once again. Atlantis out in Q1. We've seen a couple drivers try to get podiums here from very low on the grid. Riles also out in his Alpine. Probably got a lot more left of the race. Sam, Rowdy, they make it through out of qualifying. Stenner as well saved his last lap for last, and he got himself through. He actually was not ahead of his teammate, but he was close right to him compared to where I think Chungus would be. So
Considering he set one lap,
good reserve we got in.
Ninth isn't actually that bad.
And considering he may have not had a lot of practice, letting him know that he got the call last minute to reserve.
Apparently, Kostag really wants you to look at your DMs. He sent you a message or something.
I know. I will look at that
He
now.
spammed quite a lot.
Okay. If I'm back... Well, he mentioned about putting James another car up or something like that if he's available by a turn-up. But the thing is, I hope Pluto or someone's watching from their stream at least so they can let him know at least, or let one of them know about regarding car placement stuff, that Surfy's already going to be in, and that'll be a full grid at that point. He'll be the 20th driver, so there's not really a spot for Atlantis to go, considering he'd want that back. I will answer that right there. I mean, you can maybe let him know. I can't really... I mean, I can respond, but I gotta take up some time here.
You reckon James would be a good person?
I'll let him know we have. I'll just say we have a full grid because that's it. Yeah. What were you saying?
You reckon it'd be good to invite James off to quali? After they got come
Yeah, I
out?
think that's a good idea. Yeah, yeah. I always wanted to get him last week, but he
Yeah.
didn't. Did he join? I don't know. We'll get him.
Sure.
We've not talked to him in quite a bit, so I'm happy to get him in here. And you know what? This is a good track to talk to him about because this is where he got his This is where he's got his best record for podiums. Hello, welcome
James.
along,
Hello, guys.
James.
Hello. Yep.
Reminder, keep the swing at a minimum.
Yes,
You know how you are.
Just an FYI, it's
Should
just
not call that a spot.
terrible weather outside, so I may disconnect.
By the way,
it's pissing it down
Race
right now.
itself. Race itself.
yes.
Dry or wet?
So it's dry until 45 minutes, and then it turns to 80% rain. So if there's a
Okay, so we're
safety,
gonna see a wet ending.
yeah, if there's a safety car, there'll most likely be a very, very wet ending. So we should see some people going to the
Jamie,
wets. Should see some people.
That could change our championship.
I'd be
the way
very
it's going.
interesting to watch.
Yeah, it would be. Jamie, fire away with the question to Atlantis.
Right, so obviously you've had quite a good track record here with podiums and stuff.
Yes.
Weren't your brightest quality for this one then, were it? Or in wrong?
Well, if I'm gonna be honest, it's because I overfueled the car. I was on 6 laps of fuel in the first qualifying run where I did, which I done 3 laps on. That's my best time on my first lap, but like I said, I was overfueled, so easily could have taken 2 or 3 tenths off my time. And then I went balls to the wall on the final one, just to try and get out. And I thought, come on, like, we can do this. And I went a bit wide off turn 1, that little turn 2, off the little left-hand bit, and obviously invalidated there, unfortunately, which sadly to be me. But it's alright,
Skill issue.
Yeah, it's good. No, you're right. It's been a long time since I've done a lot of left last week. Still warming up to it again. I've definitely improved from my last week's performance in Spain. But France is a preferred track on me, so you'll be expecting
See
some
that.
marvellous strategies from me today. Soft mediums. I'm sorry.
Go on.
But
Yeah,
no.
good.
Yeah, no, I was just saying,
I
overfilled the car, and that's probably where I went wrong. I shouldn't have done that, but I wasn't too sure of my capabilities.
So you decided to play it
So-
safe for the fuel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's
So,
what
I do have I do have a question for you, and I want to get it in so we can finish with our laps in a moment. But I was going to ask, Polo God got a podium here from 16th on the grid last season in that wacky race. You remember that race pretty well.
I did.
But considering you're starting 17th on the grid and the weather is looking the way it is toward the end, as you mentioned, I guess this raises the question for me to ask you that, considering you got a podium in those conditions and considering you got the podium in those circumstances with the way that happened from 16th on the grid, considering you're starting 17th, does that give you a little bit of confidence to go 3 for 3? And do you feel like you have a little bit more to show than what you showed already?
With strategy
In order
wise,
to do that.
how Polo, obviously Polo is a much quicker driver than me. He's the better driver than me. We've performed on the same stage for many levels, for many years. Regardless of the weather, I feel like my pace, I've always been better at racing than I am qualifying. I feel like that's a known fact about my driver style, and I feel like regardless of the wet weather or driver, I'll be able to benefit off other people's mistakes. Like usual, how I've always said, always benefit off people's mistakes. You know, never go for silly moves, just make your turn. So I make few positions, and obviously the rain at the end. If I'm in first or second or third, if it's 2 or 3 laps in the wet weather and dry tyres, I'll stick it out to see if I can get a better position. Because it's about a 30-second pit lane here. I'd rather keep going, maybe lose 15 seconds a lap if it's 2 laps to go. Maybe we'll see, maybe just trying to see how long I can last the tyres. Strategy-wise, I'm going to start with a very aggressive mediums, hopefully stretch them to maybe a potential safety car, and then go another pair of mediums, maybe a soft pair. Don't start on the hards, just in case the rain doesn't come. I don't want to be back on the grid or be with like slower tyre. I want to be able to push and go fast and get them.
All right. Well, thank you, and I hope the best for you from 17th in the grid. Hope to see you by the end of this.
Good luck, James. Don't bottle.
Thank you. Joe goes fastest. We saw Sam Steeds at a decent lap. I thought that was going to be okay with the way it looked through Sector 1, but the rest of the lap was not so good, and he's been losing a lot of his time in Sector 3. He's 8th fastest. He's set a lap so far. Hasn't crashed out yet. I know I'm going to keep talking about it, but he hasn't crashed out yet. And Joseph set a lap, Aaron set a lap, TJR set a lap, and then it's close at the front of the field between Jab, Will, Maddie. Now we have on board with Florian Foley, who's on a lap in this part of the track. I see a couple people in chat. Give us your predictions for who you think will be out in Q2. I'd like to see who people think will be out in Q2. Because right now, in pure pace, if Sam does not get another lap in, then could be him. Florian Foley, final couple of corners for him. Final 2 corners. What can he do in his Alpine? He's the only Alpine in this session through. And it was a big surprise to see Riles out in Q1. So I must not lie about that. However, what can his teammate do? Florian Foley, top of the board! Okay. This is getting interesting. So we're just getting started at a 32-1 for Floyd. Foley. Is Polo finishing a lap, starting a lap? Let's see his lap to be finished before we go on board with someone who's on an out lap. Polo God crosses the line. Okay, 6th place for him. So, Polo God, strong showing from him. Next up, we have Goggy going fastest. 31.9. We're seeing a lot of pace on the Alfa Romeo driver. And it's probably about the right damn time he needed it. Put up a poll vote and voting earlier, and we said, which driver do you think will take the podium next out of the 3 full-time drivers? Yet to see a podium in this league. And a lot of people have said Goggy. It was Goggy, Rowdy, and Surfy, the only 3 drivers yet to take a podium finish. And speaking of statistics, let's continue with that. Williams last week got Jab's win. You know, 30 points finishes, but in those 30 points finishes, every 10 races, I guess you could say, they've at least seen a checkered flag, 2 at Pluto and 1 with Jab. And those 2, ironically enough, are the championship contenders here this season. We're now on board with Stenner, who's going to come through the final couple of corners. And we're going to go on board with him starting a lap. Nobody retiring yet. Nobody thinking they're safe. But I must say, the only one who can think they're safe is probably Goggy right now, if we're being 100% honest. Stenner through the first 2 turns. Now coming to turn 3. 50-meter board. Now committing to the inside. Going to the left side, far to the left side. 3rd gear right there. Keeping it in 3rd. Now going up to 4th. 4th gear through here. 5th through here. Alright, well, a little bold right there. But luckily, he's got the traction down. Here he comes. Down the back straight. I couldn't see what the first sector was, but it is showing purple.
Stenner
Now
needs
down
to
this
push
back
quite
straight.
hard in this laps.
It's good to see. He needs to, especially being in that Williams. Speaking of being in the Williams, Jab in the other Williams is 4th fastest. Nowhere near the elimination zone. Nowhere near the cutoff. And Stenner, 51.5. Car not lap up there. I believe that's Joseph. Yeah, Fatari. Stenner, the long right-hander for him. Committing to the inside. Back toward the outside. Toward the white paint. So that is some interesting weather from what Atlanta said. I'm going to tell you right now, that could be make or break for any of our championship contenders. Let alone if AlphaTauri, Williams, or Red Bull want a chance back at those constructors. They can't win it today. However, with 3 races remaining, they have a chance to possibly win it next week. Now, we have Stenner coming across the line now off the final corner. Comes to the line. It will be a 32.5, putting him right behind his teammate.
No. Pretty sure Pluto's
Let's
next
see.
to get a lap.
Always got close qualifying. Yeah, Pluto might be the next to finish lap. However, we do have Aaron next to start a lap. Let me just send some to the DM chat here. Just check with them on something. Yeah, and if we do get that rain at the end, Jamie, I'm curious to think. You know, he said that's at 45 minutes in, but what's it looking like percentage-wise at 30 minutes in? That's what I want to find out from somebody else. That's what I'm curious about. Aaron Ocon starting a lap now. You know, who was that? That was... Who completed a lap? It was Sam Steed, 4th fastest. And he looks to be safe right now in a Q3. He could see Q3 for the first time. How about Calm going fastest? 31.5. But Aaron Ocon will start a lap. Jamie, let's talk about Aaron Ocon's season so far. It's been up and down, but I feel like recently, especially with that Imola win, he has found the pace. It's been on and off with his pace and his finishes, but he's got more points finishes now than he has at the start of the season. 22.8 through the first sector. You know, his Imola win, I don't know if you remember that a whole lot. You were in that race. You were teammates with him, actually. But you didn't see him too much of the race.
Oh, God, no, definitely not.
Speaking of Aaron, though, how important for a driver like Aaron is it to win a race again, especially 27 races after winning for the first time in league racing? How important is that?
Well, I reckon, obviously, it's been a long time, so probably his confidence got quite low. Maybe that's why it's been a bit off. Obviously, that Imola race has obviously boosted his confidence a lot, so maybe he could push for a podium. Maybe even a win if he gets lucky. But yeah, his confidence will be high. It's very important.
Definitely.
It's very important to try and get another win. Obviously, it's been a long time since I got a win.
Oh, I know. So. He mentioned he was 19th in the driver's standings. Now he's like 8th, and it's like, it's good for him.
Yeah.
So, here he comes, final 2 corners. Aaron Ocon, currently 14th in the session, and he's in the I cannot speak in a sentence of saying that. He's in the elimination zone. That's all you need to know. Can he keep himself in the elimination zone? Can he go faster? Can he get out of it? He can. He's going to go 4th fastest. Pluto, by the way, went 2nd fastest. And with everybody who swapped positions there, Sam has now gone down to 8th. So he may need to go out again for another lap in order to be through to Q3. That's how this is. That's how this whole field is. And rightfully so. He's 3rd fastest. Anyone else above him, too, should be safe. I think Aaron Ocon down is at some sort of risk. Whether they're fully at risk or not, I don't know. But they're at some sort of risk. That's all we know for right now. So that's important to note. Rowdy said barely made Q1 with him. I think he meant barely made Q2.
Yeah, Steve Rowdy.
Right now he's
set a lap.
Not set a lap, yeah.
I reckon it could be close. If everyone improves, I think it may be if everyone improves, I think it might be a tiny bit too early for Goggy to think he's safe. But it probably is.
Well, considering we're 2.5 minutes left of the session, and Rowdy has to do a lap, and the pace of the back of the field is the way it is, Matt caught off. I think it's fair for Goggy to think he's safe, considering the top is a 31.5, and Goggy's at a 31.8, 31.9.
Yeah.
I think once you get into that 30, I think once you get in that 32.0 range, I think that's where you're starting to be at a little bit of a concern, though. That's what I think, at least if it were me. However, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about people like that thinking they're safe at like a 32.0, 32.1. Like Pluto and Kamo just retired. They're fine. They're fine. Speaking of people who aren't safe, though, Polo God is going for another lap, and he is on his lap now. Polo God coming through turn 3, turn 4 now, and he's got to find time in this Aston Martin. This Aston Martin always finds time to lose, not time to gain. But he's so far found time to gain at Sector 1 there, with being 73 thousandths up in his Aston Martin. You know, we have seen Polo God excel in these races, or let alone qualifying sessions with pace. Last time I can remember that he excelled so well, and when he needed to, being in the elimination zone, was Azerbaijan, and then he went on to take pole. And we just passed the 1-year anniversary of the SRS maiden win, 3/10 up, purple through Sector 2, so that is important. Matty Mumu went second fastest, that's going to knock Stenner out. Next across the line is Rowdy, he's sorting a lap, so this will be important to get your last laps in now, because 60 seconds remain. Polo God coming through the last 4 corners of this circuit. Now the Mercedes comes to the line, that should be Will Cromack. Will Cromack will be safe for now. That is 5th fastest, and that is important as to why I said Goggy is safe, Aaron may not be. Aaron is 6th, and he's out of this session right now, or at least retired from the session thinking he's safe. There is still everyone else left behind him to go and to finish laps. First will be Polo God. Polo God crossing the line now. Polo God currently 13th, the second down. He's currently 2/10 down, off the fastest time, and he's in.
I reckon this was
He's
early
only
for
in by
Aaron.
6/10. Very early. Next up, the Alfa Romeo. That is Sam Steed starting a lap. We'll go on board with him because this is important to see if he can make Q3 for the first time. He's got to find time somewhere in this Alfa Romeo. And Sector 3 may be where he has to. Right there could have been the difference. That turn 3 was important. He completely committed to the corner. Jab went 4th fastest. Sam's a 10th up, and he's 22.6 in the first sector. That's one of the fastest we've seen so far with the drivers we've gone on board with. Now, on the run of this back straight, he's got to find time to the chicane to make it through to Q3 for the first time in over 13 rounds. Bahrain last season. You keep continuing with the runs. Joe goes 5th fastest. Bahrain, Australia, Saudi Arabia. You continue with the tracks. Britain, Bahrain, Singapore. He is now 2/10 up. And he's gonna have to find a little bit more time to make sure he's fully safe, and that cannot get Aaron Ocon out. Rowdy goes ahead. He's 9th. He's through.
I reckon Aaron Ocon's
Continuing
out.
naming the tracks for Sam that he's been out in qualifying. You have Belgium, Monza, Hungary, Baku, Imola, Spain. And now we're at France, round number 12 of the season, where he could be in or out. This is the deciding moment to see if he can make Q3 on the best chance he's had so far. Comes to the final corner, 4th gear for him, clobbering the curb. Will is in, Rowdy's in, TJR is out. But can Sam go through to Q3? He is in for now! But can Foley, Joseph, or Stenner make a difference? Stenner crosses the line now, he's invalid. He will not make it through. Can Joseph make it through? Joseph will be the big difference. Aaron is out. TJR is out. Foley crossing the line now. Can he knock Sam out?
No.
No.
Up to Joseph.
Can Joseph do it? He's up, but is he up enough?
Yep.
Yes, Sam is out.
Sam's out.
By 0.02 of a second. Barely missed Q3. Rowdy, his ex-teammate, is in by 0.4 of a second. Or sorry, by 0.02 of a second, but 0.4 off of the top of the board. That is how close this qualifying session was. Sam is going to have to continue to wait a 14th round to make it back into Q3, but this was his best chance to do so.
Very close.
Very, very close. Where could he have found that 0.2? Or sorry, 0.000s. Maybe not clobbering the final corner curb like he did. He was trying to find time everywhere.
For Aaron to think he was safe.
I knew it was. That's why I said Goggy was safe,
Yeah.
but the rest fine weren't. It made sense. I didn't think anyone was going to go faster. And that cutoff time, look at where the cutoff time is.
Yeah. Goggy
Look at
was
that cutoff
still
time,
very
31.9.
close to getting knocked out still.
Look at the difference between 8th all the way to really even 13th. You have a 31.9 all the way to a mid 32.0.
Yeah.
That is the difference in qualifying here. Calm, fastest again in the Mercedes. Calm is just finding some pace. He's got to continue the race pace, though. Same with his teammate who's through. Both Haas through. Jab, the championship rival to Pluto, right behind him. They're close on pace. Jab tied with Joe. Polo God's through. Joseph is through for AlphaTauri once again. Goggy, Will, Rowdy, but out of qualifying is Sam Steed, Aaron Ocon, TJR, Florian Foley, and FGE Stenner.
That was extremely close.
I want
Anyone
to talk
could've
to Sam
gone
after
that
that one, but I don't know if he wants to talk to us. Oh boy. Well, Thrasher says the streak continues. Rowdy says Q3 party. Well, you can see two different sides of the garage with how they feel about that one. So we have got, when it comes to the different drivers and the different teams in, we've got an AlphaTauri one AlphaTauri, one Williams, one Aston Martin, two Haas, a Red Bull, an Alfa Romeo, two Mercedes, and a McLaren. So 8 of the 10 teams are in to Q3. Not too bad. And the only teams that repeat are Mercedes and Haas. Haas continued their Q3 consecutive streak. Jab continues his Q3 consecutive streak. Pluto continues the streak of every time he's made a start, he's made Q3 this season. And Joseph, in his rookie season, by the way, is through to Q3 every single time, I believe, except for 2. As a rookie in this league, considering how close the field is, Joseph may have not had the best luck in every race so far, but I have to give him the credit for it. Because as a rookie, that's impressive.
Very
Especially considering, you know, the off and on time Joseph's had to this game. Been on and off with this game. To where, well, even these games, I should say, not just this game specifically, but these games with F1, where he's racing, to where he's not racing, to where he's only commentating, whatever it is, Joseph's been back and forth. And that's nothing against him. I'm not trying to put it like that, but I'm trying to put it in a way where it's impressive that, I think it was last game or something like that, he was toward the back end of the field in pace. Now in an AlphaTauri, like the bottom half of Tier 1 or Tier 2 in most leagues that we would run with our people off of pace, he would be. Considering right now that he's getting in on a constant basis to Q3 in an AlphaTauri, I have to give credit for it. I also have to give credit for both Mercedes boys, who constantly have either had one car in Q3 or had both cars barely miss Q3 or some sort of issues crashing or whatever it is. They've got both cars in this time. And for cars that have no straight line speed around this track, Mercedes specifically, and even Rowdy with the McLaren, well, starting up front is the best thing for them, because even if they lose the straight line speed, they have a chance to gain it. They'll lose it in the race, but they won't lose it in qualifying. So having a good qualifying position will allow a better chance for them to stay up front. Here's Com starting his first lap. He'll be the one to set the benchmark time for Q3. I believe he clipped the yellow sign there. Yellow marker. Now, turn 3 for Com. How committed is he going to be? Remember, it's only your first lap of Q3. Everyone always sets 2. So he has a chance to go again. However, this is the first of 2 that you will set. And this is one of the most important ones, especially if you have a mistake in the second one. 22.7 for the first sector of Com. Now, down this back straight, this is where he could lose a lot of time in that Mercedes with the straight line speed. But he has a chance to gain it back at the chicane. Got to be committed. Got to not invalidate. Keeping it through 4th, which I'm a little surprised about. Now up the gears, 5th, 6th, 7th, and at the sector split, he will be at a 50.9, which is an improvement from a lot of people from what we've seen. So he is flying out there, and he is beating his teammate currently, too. Com, the long right-hander now. Can he find some time? Can he find time to set a better benchmark than what he expects? What we've seen in these sessions, the 31.5 at the front of the board. Can we see anybody go faster than that? Can we see a low 31? Let's find out. Com will be the first one to tell us just that. The penultimate corner, now the final corner. What gear is he going in? He's going in 4th. Seeing a mix of gears between drivers, but DRS will be applied. Already down on the deployment. Only going to go below 10% in a moment. But here's Com, 31.4. That is faster than what we've seen so far. Com crossing the line on provisional pole. Can Will Cromack is his teammate on outlap. Can the drivers behind go faster? Joseph will be the next one in that AlphaTauri. We're going to watch Will, though, coming through the first couple of corners in Sector 1. Can he go better than a 22.7? Joseph, through the final corner. What can he do? Joseph, 9/10 off. Will, turn 3, a little more committed than his teammate was. A little more to the inside. Will that make a difference? Now to the inside of turn 5, Will, a 22.5!
Jesus.
Oh my goodness! We're seeing improvements, and we're seeing improvements like no other from these Mercedes boys. Where has this pace come from? Rowdy, the next one to complete a lap. where he saw a podium almost in Season 2. He will see second right now on the grid out of the 3 drivers who completed laps. Polo God, next one to start a lap, and now Will is invalidated. That's not good for him. It is Matty Mumu gonna go front row. Next up is Pluto. Pluto, he's gonna go even with Calm for provisional pole. It's even.
Oh my god. This is going to be a good quali.
Stop the count. We've just seen a tie for pole position right now. Will invalidated. We're seeing Calm as well. Try to go to the pits, but we're going to go on board Blue Goggy, who's also been exceptional in these sessions so far as well. Maybe not last session, thinking he's safe, maybe almost a little bit too early, but Q1 he has had a lot of pace, and maybe he has a lot of time to still show. 50.8 at the middle sector. It is dead even at the front of the field, and we're going to continue to see that. Goggy now, inside curb now, at that long right-hander. Now, to the inside of the curb, right there. Not touching it, though, so we won't lose too much time from that. However, can he go faster than the 31.4? We're right now, got a dead even fight, got a tie, got our closest pole margin right now at the top. Jab completes a lap, that is 4th fastest. But Goggy, can he go any more closer than they are? Goggy crosses the line. Goggy will be 5th fastest, but he is right behind Jab. Next up, completing laps, Joe is around! But Polo God, the next to cross the line. Pole in Baku, can he see provisional pole so far in France? No! 6th fastest only for him.
This is
And we're gonna get somebody in here from qualifying. How about a quick message with Sam? Because he was so close! So close for Sam Steed. I honestly feel bad because I really think with me practicing with him, with his pace, with the improvements, he probably had his best chance thus far to make Q3, but 2,000 separated that difference. That's how close it was. And a close field too, because they were separated by 4/10 from the front. Sam Steed, we're talking to you once again. Hello.
Hello.
I know it's not what you expected, but it is your closest to Q3 you've had this season. My question for you, 2000s. How close does this feel to be able to get into qualifying from what we saw from you a season ago and even 2 seasons ago to where you were comfortably through almost every single time?
I mean, last season here in France, I only scraped through, so I only came 10th in qualifying, so I'm really not great around here in qualifying. But sort of hit the inside curve I turned in too early at the final corner. I still gained time on my previous lap, but just not enough.
Just needed 2000s. Where could you have found that?
Final corner.
All right, that's what I wanted to know. Jamie, I probably shouldn't have asked 2 questions. I did say 1 question, but that was a quick answer there. So, do you have any for Sam?
Not really. It just must be
A little bit of
really annoying to constantly miss out on Q3, especially with how close this one was.
Unfortunately, it's more annoying when it's just my fault.
Ah.
But this
Yeah,
time
fair
it wasn't. I did everything I could.
Sam, before you go, we obviously wish you good luck, but 1 question. This close qualifying, we got a 31.4 at the front of the field. Who's getting pole? Just thought I'd ask you that
Yeah,
one.
that's a good question.
Because we do have some time. Calm, okay. Well, he could be our 2nd repeat pole sitter. All right. Good luck in the race. We hope you're the best, and have fun.
Cheers.
You know, maybe it's a good thing I'm drinking some Monster Energy that might lead us to a Mercedes pole position, and kind of need it to stay up after last night. I was on and off with sleeping. I must tell you, I'm not gonna lie about that one. I was really surprised at waking up in the middle of the night. I don't know if I'd stay up, but here I am. So at least it's a good thing, right?
Don't fall asleep while commentating.
Oh, shoo, oh, shoo.
Just hit
We're okay.
smack on your table as you hit your head after falling asleep. That is funny.
Hope not. I hope not. I think the first driver to start a lap will be either Calm or Joe.
It's going to be Joe Commons let him overtake.
I know when Joe practiced with Sam mentioned Joe looked fast. I'm not going to say how fast, but it could be enough to take pole. It may not be. I don't know. You know, every different session you do, different tire wear, different type of pushing, different type of mistakes. Joe is currently not got a representative lap for us to tell. So he's going to find improvement anywhere he can get it. And as he is about to start his lap, we have 100 seconds almost remaining in the session. Every driver has to get on their out lap now, has to be out now, and I think all of them are. Joe will be the first one to start a lap here. Comes off the following corner, sets his lap, starts his lap at the start-finish line. Now we got turn 1, turn 2. Very good through there. 15 seconds he'll have to find at least to get himself an improvement of positions. I think that's pretty easy to find 15 seconds. However, guy has to keep it valid because if he doesn't, we may see him have to go for another one. And not only that, but 22.5 at the first sector. Okay, so we're seeing more improvement. So this is currently a lap that could set him front row. Or third, considering how close that front row is. But with Joe, still got lots of time to find, surely. Because you only saw 11 seconds of improvement. But as I said, if he invalidates, if he backs off, has an issue, whatever goes on, he may not make it back to the flag at that point. May or may not. We don't know yet. Now, at the sector split, 50.6. So this is much of an improvement. Can Joe go to pole position for a second time? We've seen 10 different pole sitters this season, but we've only seen one repeat pole sitter. Can he become the second one? We saw Monza, a great lap from him, but France, the next chance at a good lap for him. Now, the final 4 corners. The inside curb he's going to commit. Not going to touch it, but going to touch the outside one. Going to ride all over it. The third to last corner. Now the penultimate. Got a car in front of him starting a lap, or maybe, yeah, starting a lap. I was going to say finishing, but it's already shown them on a lap. 4th gear, following corner. Clobber the following curb. Polo God, crash. Joe crossing the line. What can he do? Can Joe go pole? Joe will. It's a 31-0. That is the fastest we've seen so far. Com beats it. Com beats Pluto. Com is a 10th off of pole right now. Next up is Will. Will enters the final corner now. Can he beat Pluto? That's going to be a tough one to beat for everybody, but right now he's got this time to beat. 31-0. Will, 5th fastest, 31-7. Next up is Rowdy. Rowdy's invalidated. And Jab, your championship rival, is also validated too, to Pluto. Next up is the Haas of Pluto, who's also invalidated.
Oh, everyone's invalidated.
Everybody is invalidating. It will be up to Maddie and Mumu being the next one. Maddie and Mumu through the final sector. Polo God crashing out. Rowdy crashing out. Pluto invalid. Com's already completed a lap. Joe's already completed a lap. Jab invalid. So we're now down to the last 3 drivers to possibly make a difference to Joe's pole. Now, the penultimate corner for Maddie and Mumu. Now the final corner. 3rd gear for him. Clobbers the inside curb. Can that be where the time is won or lost? Maddie commits to the left side. What's he gonna do? Can he go better? Maddie crosses the line now, misses out. He's only on the 2nd row, but had the fastest final sector. Next up will
and
be...
Joseph have both invalidated.
Oh, boy. So that won't matter.
invalidated.
Joe will be the 2nd repeat pole sitter here in this season. 31-0. A 10th at clear of Com. And that is important. Confidence for him to win his first race. Even on the weekend that the Red Bull founder and owner of the F1 team, I believe owner of the F1 team if I'm correct, Red Bull company owner, passed away sadly. That is a crucial pole position for Joe. And he has done it. Being a 10th ahead of Com, but more importantly, 2 to 4 tenths ahead of the Haas drivers.
You know, I think Sam's prediction about Com getting pole was wrong.
Well, we're just here for the curses. We're not here for the commentary.
That's the true reason why everyone wants to commentate. They just want to curse.
Chat. Who had Joe getting pole? Cause he will lead us to turn 1. Don't think he raced this race last season, did he? Not sure. That's his 2nd pole position though. Cam's already been on pole. Matty's already been on pole this season. Pluto, however, has not. 4th place qualifying again from him. Yet to see pole in this championship season.
That was
Championship.
That was a lot of
attending season.
validations for the final lap.
I know, that really surprises me.
Everyone must have been
Especially
pushing
for a
really
session.
hard.
I saw the first lap that, well, they knew they were tied at the front, so they had to try to extend it, and some did, some didn't. Goggy, 7th place for him. Polo, 8th. Rowdy, 9th. Rowdy has started up at the front before here. Joseph, top 10, could not get in a good last lap. He invalidated. Many drivers invalidated there in their last laps, but that is it for your starting lineup here at France. And now we head to the race where anything could be won or lost. And if you want to talk about winning or losing, again, 39 points in the championship, and the statistics I've brought up to you are very important to note. Joe is looking to take a double Red Bull winner, or sorry, double Red Bull, is that the word I want to use? Probably not. I don't know how I want to word that. I don't know how I wanted to word that, but the thing for Joe is he could become the 2nd Red Bull driver to win this season, and he could do the same thing that happened in season 1 with Aaron winning for Red Bull, Thrasher winning for Red Bull, and leave it at that. They've won in every season, but the last time they won 2 races in a season was with 2 different drivers. And that's before the season, by the way. TJ already won 2 in a row, but they won with 2 different drivers back in season 1. Joe's looking for Red Bull's 3rd win of the season, but Joe's looking, importantly, to be the 2nd Red Bull driver to win. Now, we're on to our favorites. By the way, the front row of the grid here at France has never been on the podium, let alone won the race.
Jesus.
Let's keep you in mind, every driver who's won the French Grand Prix has won it from 3rd. And that's where I start with my favorite, Matty Moumou. 3rd on the grid. This is where we start to see Matty Moumou try to take 3rd place in the championship over from Kostag. You know, he's a long way back, but with Kostag not racing, Matty Moumou could potentially win. A lot can happen. I know Joe's already took 1 point away from Matty Moumou, possibly, with the pole position. You know, so 26 points on offer for Matty Moumou now. But here's his chance. Straight line speed, you know, a teammate to work with, beating your teammate in qualifying. That's all where it starts. And he starts from 3rd on the grid, where every single driver who's won the French Grand Prix has started. That is the first notable stat and notable driver that I want to mention. Secondly, we'll go with Atlantis J20 back in 17th, because looks like 16th, 17th on the grid is important here. Thrasher started 16th on the grid back in season 1. Got dropped below the podium after his penalty he had coming into the race, but did win the race on track. Polo God finished the race 3rd on track, maybe 4th, I think it was, something like that, 3rd, whatever, but did take a podium in this race from 16th on the grid. Atlantis has finished on the podium in every single season of France and starts 17th. So that confidence you could have from starting at the back of the grid, especially with the conditions toward the end possibly, could make the difference. I know it's a weird term to use. Jamie, on to your 2 favorites here. Different than mine.
Can't ever
Oh,
say
boy.
Pluto. It's been Pluto is just very fast. You can't ever just not ignore him. Pluto is just insane. Okay, have a good shot at winning this. And then I reckon after that pole, which was very good for Joe, I reckon he's going to break the curse of anyone from the front row not winning. We're getting a podium.
Could.
I reckon he's going to break that. I'm going to have to stay Joe. But yeah. So the 2 Joes.
Watch.
2 Joes.
Watch the front of the field, watch the midfield. We'll have a lot of concerns around them because we've seen trouble there in both seasons in those areas. Let alone even at the social race event. Well, there you go. There's that answer already done and dusted. Here we go.
Leave it.
Aaron Ocon, the only driver disqualified from the formation lap. Here we go for the 5 red lights now, flooring fully too.
You really had to
Thrasher
say
as
that,
well.
didn't you, Ryan? And then 2 more people.
Oh, I did. Here we go. Waiting for the 5 red lights for the French Grand Prix. Here we go. Just waiting. They rev it up! And it's lights out, and away we go for the French Grand Prix. Joe gets a good start, but Calm already losing traction. And here's the Alfa Romeo of Gagi getting an amazing start, going up to P6 already. But behind that, down the inside, the two teammates are side by side. Couple cars having to go off to avoid trouble. But Sam Rowdy also gaining places. Now Aaron Ocon is out at the back of the field with Shaw colliding, Will dropping a ton of places. And now, up at the front of the field, there's Stenner, on round 2. Stenner's been spun. Shot's got damage. Will's got damage. Now Florian Foley is spun. But at the front of the field, we've got Joe, a 5/10 gap over Calm. Next is Maddie. Next is Pluto and Jab. Right behind his championship rival already with the 2 Alfa Romeos following. Oh, here's TJR. Ducking on Joseph. Gonna go side by side before the chicane. Joseph having to run wide, but TJR has to back off of that one. And next is Rowdy following suit on the mediums. And here's Polo God. Polo God fell a couple places at the start as well. He's now contending. Now Surfy and Thrasher, they're gonna go 3 wide for a moment. Surfy around the far outside is gonna keep this. Thrasher on the inside. Surfy having to run very wide. Here's Rowdy and TJR. There's a collision! Polo God with no front wing. Now Rowdy is spun. TJR is spun. It's been trouble for almost half the grid on the opening lap.
My game has glitched out. I can't see any of the I can't see like the stats on where everyone is. Like, I can't see the map. Can't see anything.
Try to pause and unpause. Polo God pitting for front wing damage. Shot pitting for damage. Here's Riles and Surfy now. Riles and Surfy. We got Atlantis contending too. But at the front of the field, Joe and Calm, it's close to 10th between the two. Yeah, try to pause and unpause. See if that makes a difference.
Yeah, I've tried. Nothing's happening.
Keep trying to do that. Riles and Surfy now. 10th place. Still close to one another. Running toe to toe. Try maybe pressing home button and off of that. Here's Calm. Calm and Joe for the lead. Here comes Calm ducking to the left side already. Calm is ahead, but not fully clear. Joe is going to hang it around the outside, but Calm comfortably will take the lead now.
Yeah, no, nothing.
So what can you see and what can't you see then?
Basically, all I see is like the screen is completely So imagine, obviously, your stream. You can see the.
Oh, the 2 leaders. Sorry. Oh. Okay, never mind. We're good.
Yeah, you can like see the you can see like the gears, the spectating menu. I can't see anything. Everything's completely gone. It's literally I'm just looking at the cars on the track.
Stenner takes a 3-second. Yeah. Only thing I could see. Oh, so you're saying like the leaderboard's gone too?
Yeah, leaderboard's gone. I can't see anything.
Oh boy.
Just the cars on the track.
Should I have you quit out to my menu then come back in?
I could try.
It's not the only thing that's not showing is the lap time on the top of the board. That's the only thing that's not showing for me, which is okay.
Yeah, no, for me, I lost everything.
I've only lost the lap time on the right side. I don't know why that is, but I see what you mean.
Try quitting
Here's
and
an invite, by the
rejoining.
way.
I just don't want to like try and.
I'm not gonna try quitting and rejoining, but I'm gonna have right.
Yeah.
Jab, by the way, and Gagi, it said they traded spots, but let's look at the positions gained and lost in the opening lap. Calm gained 1. Polo got us spun again. Calm gained 1. Joe lost 1. Now Matty Mumu is spun!
Okay. Right.
Well, now that means Jab gained 1, Gagi gained 1, Sam gained 5 already, and Thrasher up 8 spots up into the points. But he's at the other half of the DRS train. If you don't want to break the lobby and you want to see what you can do there, stay in the game and I'll try to help you. Look off the main stream to see if there's anything there you could help with.
Yeah,
Why not?
it's like
And it just says they're in
game
Sector
back
3.
out of the lobby
Like, it
anyway.
says they're in Sector 3. Yeah, okay, so, yeah.
So I'm stuck in the game. Like, I can't see anything. I'm just off the
Okay,
stream.
I see what you mean. Look off the stream for anything there. Polo God has now spun around again at the second corner and has definitely got some rear wing damage from that one. So, it's an O'Callahan disaster right now with 19th and 20th for them. And that's not the start they were looking for either.
If he's got
The start
rear wing
Sam C
damage.
was looking for is
If he's
good
got
too.
rear wing damage,
Never mind, he
he's
spun. Sam is around. Oh, Jesus, the jinxes already.
It's not a good start for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Sam had a good start, and look how that changed. Yellow flags again. Polo God is around. Again. But the front of the field, the two medium runners have pulled away. Joe loses the rear! And now he hasn't pulled away. He's just clawed Pluto back into this. There's more yellow flags. Polo God is spun around again. And he's about to be lapped.
He must
It's a
have rear-wing
disaster
damage
for
if
the
he's
S1
seriously
driver.
spinning
Yeah,
like this.
surely. And now the gap between the leaders, 1.6. With rain on the way, as drivers have said, everything could change by that point. Surely that 1.6 gap won't last too much longer. Shot with the fastest lap. Now, Polo God spinning right in front of the leaders. Trying to get out of the way. His race is coming undone. Sam now, who was at a good start, spun back to 14th. Polo God with a 10-second now by the game. But luckily for Sam, he's in a train 7th on back, which is kind of where he was at. And we've got Matty Mimu, who spun as well, all the way back to 8th now. So that car, like we've mentioned, you're driving on the edge of it, really. And we've seen that with Matty Mimu. And now Calm, your leader, has spun! So many spins to start this race! That's now inherited Joe to the lead. Now Stenner's crashed. And that has not brought out a safety car yet. I don't think it will. What have we seen? What have we seen to start this race?
So I'm just trying to figure out how
Matty
to help
Mumu.
spectate.
Trying to gain on Thrasher now. Maybe gonna go alongside? No, he's too far back. TJR and Surfy, though, gonna go side by side. TJR goes ahead. And that was quite easy with his straight line speed in the Red Bull. Next up is Matty Mumu spinning! Again!
What is going on?
And now Polo God, with his trouble going a lap down, is out of this race.
Yeah.
Now TJR goes wide too, and he's around again! He's collected Sam!
What's going on?
Oh my goodness!
Everyone's just spinning.
If you want to talk about how chaotic the start has been, Riles from 18th on the grid is up to 8th. Thrasher, about 2 positions higher than that, up to 7th. What have we seen?
And James going from 17th to 9th.
Yeah, Shot with a 3-second. He's got some penalties now for track limits. Well, it's not the chaotic start you usually see in URS, but we've just seen it. Wow.
They've decided they want to cause chaos today.
Yeah, today they broke up Michelle's violence, quite literally, and at the front of the field. Joe might be leading on the mediums, however, second on back to 5th is all on the hards, and they've got their little train with cars that they're trying to have catch up to the front of the field, contend, and see what they could do. Atlantis and the AlphaTauri as well, on the back of Riles as well. This is for position. And they were teammates last week as well. He's in a Alpine sandwich now, Atlantis is. 1.3 at the front of the field. Even with that slide from Joe, still leading. Atlantis goes through on Riles. Position swap right there. Now Rowdy, who also spun back at 13th. I swear, like, half the drivers in this race so far have at least had one spin. That's how crazy it's been. It almost seems like that. Well, maybe it's like going to be that kind of race, and especially with the rain on the way, they're going to be desperate. Speaking of the first desperate moves, is Joseph going to be a part of that? Overtake button was engaged for a moment. He's got the lowest battery out of anyone in this DRS train. Thrasher also on the back of Comp. Thrasher running a good race so far. You mentioned he's coming to every French Grand Prix with a penalty, and he's coming with the 5-second that he'll have to serve at the end of the race. But so far, he's keeping this in the points, even with the 5-second, I believe. Surfy gets overtaken by Rowdy TJ Boy on the mediums, and Surfy spins off the curb.
Another spin.
You reset the track, and you're not allowed to do that, so that'll be a 10-second. And he went right in front of the other cars, too. Rowdy's now stopped on track.
What's going on there?
He's left the session. Okay, then.
I think the game will let me
Get him
back.
Yeah, you get him. You get him. I'm stuck at the pause menu.
What's going on?
My F1's crashed.
What's
my
going
F1
on with
has
F1
crashed.
today?
Right, it's gonna be awkward because obviously I ain't able to really commentate because I can't see anything. Obviously,
You gotta
since
remind me of the
stream's
game, though.
currently down.
It just
Yeah, yeah.
crashed. So the game is just crashed.
Just can't be.
When I try to go invite Rowdy, it crashed. Like, completely crashed.
Yeah, let me invite Rowdy.
So, yep, lovely.
I've got
Lovely.
Rowdy.
Just crashed.
Send me like him.
It needs to load. Anytime now. Start loading. Gosh, I just wish they could make a good game.
Yeah, it's even worse now that it's made by Codemasters and EA.
For those of you missing any action, I've just lagged out of the session after the whole Rowdy shenanigan happened there where his car was parked on the track from him lagging out. Gosh.
It's still stopped on track as well. I've sent him an invite. I'm not sure if he's back in. There's obviously nothing
I want to
showing.
make sure the stream is still up. It is.
Yeah,
It's showing it's still up. Good, so that's good.
So, like I said, I can't really commentate because I have no idea what's going on. All I know is that Joe is still leading and Pluto is behind him.
Alright, so for those of you just joining now, the stream are just turning back in after my game just crashed when I tried to reinvite Rowdy, or was gonna reinvite Rowdy until I realized you had it. Yeah, it crashed, but we're gonna get back in the session here shortly, so we're okay.
You get my invite I sent you?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Oh, cool.
I just wish this game would be lovely and work, but can't have nice things.
No, definitely
Can't
not.
have nice things. Can never have nice things. It's okay though.
Hi, Charles. Everyone having food night?
Alright. Back into spectator mode. Here we go. Should load me in, and if it doesn't, there's gonna be issues. Luckily, we got 10 people watching still. Keep tuned into the stream. 11. Keep watching. Keep watching this questionable Codemasters game. Codemasters EA. Whoever owns it. Who cares?
I don't even know what lap it is, by the way, with the nothing showing up.
Lap 8. I think
Okay.
that's it. I hope nothing shows up for... I hope not nothing shows up for me. I almost said I hope nothing shows up for me. That would have been funny. Oh, Jesus.
God, this game is awful.
I see people begging for a restart, but just because you crashed out, I don't think there should be a restart, if we're being honest.
Oops, nice
We
to
can't allow that to happen. So you have to get him back in?
Yeah.
Alright, we're good.
Right now.
I can now see things, except for I cannot see Sector 1, I think. And now I think once Joe crosses the line, I might be able to. So
that's
for things that have happened the last couple laps, Rowdy's car is still parked in the track.
Mm.
Gosh, jeez. And speaking of stuff already, Com is into the pit lane. No, I can't see sector times, nothing with that. Okay, but I can see the intervals at least. And now Ryle is out of this race. Was that in the pit lane? I was in the pit lane. He's retired. He's out of this race. The fourth driver out of this race. I can see gaps, so that's good.
I did re-invite Rowdy, is he?
You did invite
Okay.
Rowdy?
I know I did.
Ask him if you got the invite.
Let me quickly ask him in the main chat.
So, also get Sam in too.
I did invite. Oh, really? I did invite.
guess
I know
I
I invited some Steve.
You did?
Apparently he didn't get an invite.
Oh, well.
And now I
Yeah, I
invite.
don't think any
someone,
action's
I can
happening, but I
invite
will
you.
try. Hold on, let me check. Let me get him an invite.
This game.
Rowdy and Sam. If Aaron can, I want ping Aaron to give Rowdy an invite if he can.
Well, I don't know.
Next time I try to
pretty
go.
sure I saw him
Next,
leave.
yeah. Well, Aaron O'Connor. Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say next time I try to give Rowdy an invite, it's gonna kick me out again probably. So you know, that'll be lovely. Actually, I'll try to do it. Who cares?
Yeah, pretty much everyone is now begging for a restart.
Everyone or just what?
I'm pretty sure they've now said Com can't move.
They said common
Yeah,
shot
three
are stuck in the
people.
pit lane.
Yeah, 3 people are stuck
Hold
in
on,
the
let me
pit
see
lane.
this. Hold on, let me see this. Yeah, I see that.
Should we restart?
That surely has to be. That surely has to be.
Yeah. I
Wow.
think it's gotta be. How the hell does this even happen in a game like this?
I'm just making sure at least Rickson or whoever can
Yeah,
Agree to
can't
that.
do anything.
Agrees. I need to make sure we've got the starting grid, so we're gonna have to go off quali then. By the way, okay, we're restarting. I'm gonna make that aware to the drivers.
Yeah.
Pluto even says, "Yep, yeah." Even Sam has messaged me.
I'll
We are
quickly let
restarting.
him know. Yeah, as well.
Set the lobby.
Alright,
Wow.
I'm gonna
Okay,
have
so we get
to,
another chance at this.
yeah, quickly closing my game.
Okay.
So see.
Well, I mean, I understand. Okay, look, I understand the people with like crash out. Like, I understand why they may have thought that now because the game might have been glitchy for them. Maybe as to why they crashed out or not. I don't know. But you know what? The good thing for us is, and you'll know what I'm referencing. Don't say what I'm referencing. But the good thing is, I think it's a good thing that we don't always have to restart, and it's always because of a game glitch almost every time.
Yeah.
Luckily, that's the case this time. So, what the hell? Oh dear.
What is this? What? I don't understand how EA and Codemasters can make a game like this.
Why does Rowdy want me to put him back at the grid? I'm kind of confused about that.
No idea.
Alright, I am back in the game.
I think we're okay with doing still 50%, but I gotta see what I can do for the weather now because the drivers have to tell me what the weather was now.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. You have to set up the lobby though,
Yeah. I'm just
and
I
we
had
have to
to,
let the
like-
drivers know what the weather is too. So
had to quickly
I gotta
reload
know
my
about
whole
that.
game because I had to quit it.
because it looks like it's clear, right, light rain. I'm sure. So, you know. All right. Let me know about weather, by the way. I'm just gonna mention that now, and I'm sure that's just ridiculous.
Right, I'm back in again. Just quickly load the settings. Load, yes, please. Thank you. Oh shit, actually added to.
Rain started on the 5/7 indicator and carried on till the end. So what that means, I think, is clear, light rain, or clear, whatever it was with 4 to 7 dry, 3 to 7 light rain. That's what they said. So I don't know. We got to figure out something to go with that.
Yeah.
We will have to go with quality results, I think, for the lineup. I just want to be 100% though.
Yeah, okay.
It should be 50%. We're doing that. Yep.
Yeah, I've just quickly reloaded everything, just need to quickly sort all that.
Didn't
So
get to have difficulties. Correct about
quality's
that.
off, obviously. Wow. And then I wait for everyone to rejoin, then obviously I have to do all the quality results. Yeah. God, this game is awful.
I mean, I don't blame people for being pissed off. I don't blame them because it's not a fun game. You invited me. I did not see that. I was looking on the Discord. Well, this is the kind of situations we get put in, and we hate to be put in these because it rarely happened the last couple of games. So I think the last
What
game
have
we
they
only
done
had a
to
total of
this,
one
like,
restart
game
in
code?
URS now. So I do have the quality lineup, I believe. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm good on that one.
Yeah, if you just
I'm gonna invite the EA people now,
Mhm.
but what we're gonna do, and I don't think I should restart my game from that, but the fact is the lobby would need to be restart in order to fix those settings we were talking about. I'm inviting Maddie. I'm inviting Surfy though. If we can get Joe and the admins in, they can help with the invites, and I'm gonna rely on them for that because I kind of have to in order to keep the stream running. Chat, welcome along. What?
Cossack is obviously he said that he weren't able to race, and now he keeps trying to push for a race, like him to race. Mr. James Gordon. I won't say what he says, but it's in main chat. Alright. Let this game done.
All right, so you get the admins invites first, so they can try to help with that. Let's see. They're all appeared offline, so that does not always help me not every time at least. If I realize it all the time, I mean, it'd probably help out, but it didn't. And that's okay, because that happens sometimes. Even I'm showing offline, and I'm appeared online, so I don't get that. No, I am showing online. All right, that's good. So, yeah, didn't make it halfway.
So what are we doing off of this restart?
Okay, so let me make sure you got the settings right. So just want to be 100% with this. Assists, all correct. Lobby options, all correct. Track select, obviously it's France. Long, starting grid has to be custom.
Yeah.
Make sure you do that.
Yeah. We'll do
Weather,
that just
that's
fine.
what I'm going to figure out. Okay.
Yeah, obviously I've kindly turned off college, just waiting for everyone to rejoin. So it'll...
And it's the most fair rule, especially when people are... Yeah, that's true. Because people are mentioning, go by lap 8, go by lap 8, but we can't when people are getting stuck in the pit lane like that. How can that happen? You know, I didn't realize that. So, car damage rate is at standard. You need to put that at standard. That's the only thing I can see that needs to be changed that I didn't say so far.
Honestly, I hate this game. I like save it after you said everything was all good, and then all of a sudden it's now just changed itself.
What the heck is an AR-12?
An
AR-12. It says F-122 Air and an AR-12. What is that?
It's a new gun.
Right, well... Well, you know what? There are just some things I see, and I just question it every time as to what I'm actually seeing. And I think that's one of them.
Sorry, I was just trying to like.
This is very annoying.
I hate this game. Car damage. You said car damage and standard of. I don't know why it all changes, man. I've got everything
that.
like perfect as you say, and then it changes itself.
Riles, last scene 3 minutes ago. We need to figure out where Riles is going to be at. We need to figure out where other people are going to be at too. Because
so that's
if
what
they're not
went
going to try
wrong.
to restore, we need to figure that out. What?
So basically, because of Polo pitting and retiring, apparently the game glitched out, and it was Polo's car blocking it.
Oh?
That's never happened before. What is this game?
That is... So where else is he supposed to retire?
It's this game, man. Apparently,
Where
you're no
else is he
longer allowed
supposed
to
to
retire
retire,
in pit
right?
lane according to this game.
No, not allowed. Not allowed. Not allowed. Not
God.
allowed. We need to figure out as well who's joining and not joining for the restart. That's something
Yeah.
else we need to figure out because I see Riles offline and I saw TJR mention something.
Crashes
Don't remember what that
complaining,
was.
so maybe he's gonna be.
I hope not.
Just have to wait and see.
If they leave for no reason another restart, that's also against the rules, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Thrash is now trying to say
I
go
see.
off of the lap before com pitted.
dry, light rain. 2 dry, 1 wet.
2 dry,
What?
1 wet.
Yeah, but I need to figure out if that's clear or light cloud with any of them.
Yeah, just let me know when. Just disappoint.
Yeah, on friends. Will was Will in? Because he needs it on friends only to join, and then you got to switch that. I don't know why that is. That's a glitch with him, I think. Jamie, get it to friends only for a moment.
Yeah, sure.
So Will can join.
Friends only, lolly.
Gosh, so stupid this game. But it will.
Oh yeah.
And once he joins, put it back to invite only.
Yeah.
All right, who is not in? Here, let me see.
Don't
Who's
know.
not in? So it was 8's count. What is he talking about 8's count?
I don't know what's going on. We just need everyone to hurry up and join.
If
Will's
you can
in.
answer me.
I think Rowdy's not going to be able to. Yeah, no, I know what TGR's on about. He's considering not racing anymore, but he's asking if his 8 seconds will still count towards this race, because obviously he did join.
Oh, I see. I see what he means now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with what Pluto said because we've never had that situation happen before. I don't think we ever have. So. Correct. That Pluto's got a fair point with what he just said. With that, by the way, with starting on the same tires. And yeah, we gotta get who else is not in here. So TJR is in Aaron. Thrasher. Thrasher has to get in a car.
Yeah, Thrasher.
Rowdy has to join the both Williams boys. Stenner. We gotta get Stenner in here.
Yes.
And then they can't. They have to unready. Anybody who's ready has to unready, so we can get the grid.
Do the grid, yeah.
Correct. They cannot stay ready.
Right, I'll get.
They have to unready.
I'll get ready on the grid thing just to
because if we, okay. Someone needs to check if Riles is joining.
And then
this
obviously I
restart.
need to figure out the weather. Whether it's clear or anything like that, you know. See, I know Joe was pole.
Okay, so Rowdy's not able to join, so I see this now. Okay. Okay then.
Right. I've got the top 4 done with Joe, Carl, Matty, and Surfy. Surfy, Blur.
Okay.
And just if you DM all the starting positions, I'll find it easier to do it that way because I could just look at it.
All right. Did you get Did you get it back in invite only? By the way.
I'm pretty sure I did. Yes. Let me quickly check.
Okay.
The option.
Be sure. And I need to figure out the weather
Now it's
options
invite,
with that quickly too.
yeah.
So we'll be just a moment for people still trying to wonder.
Yeah. Oh God.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me just put something out here in admin chat about this.
Is
All right. So.
Benno back? I think it is.
Apologies. Clear, cloudy, light rain. I do want to make sure that if they do, we gotta. Okay. Well, we have to make sure the weather for Milo mentioning that, by the way. I gotta see if Riles is joining. Is Riles joining? Did he say anything? Not joining. Okay.
James is now asking about him.
I know. I need to see what we're gonna do about that.
Yeah.
Also, what are we? All right. So clear, cloudy, light rain. Do that with the settings.
Clear, cloudy, light rain. All right. Weather. Clear. So that's light cloud, right? Or is it overcast?
Okay.
Fine.
Wait, what were you saying? Sorry. I'm trying to
Cloudy.
sort of
It's
like 10
light
things at
cloud or
once.
overcast?
Overcast.
Cast. All right, and then
I
just
believe.
wet.
Light,
Yeah, so-
just wet.
Yeah, I've got clear, overcast, then wet. Right. And then obviously need to figure out the grid if anyone's still.
Okay, yes, okay. I see this. Make sure everybody is in here who... Alright, we need to see... Stenner, Rowdy can't join. Atlantis, who else is not in here? Riles, Stenner, and... Okay, so I'll give you the grid right now.
Right.
So you can do this quickly.
Just opening the grids.
This what I'm giving it right now is from 20th to 1st.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. We're literally trying to rush to get everything done to make sure everything's figured out. That's from 20th on top, 1st to the bottom.
Yep. Right, perfect. Thank you. I shall sort all that out. Then. Oh, oh yeah, he's not in, is he? James. Right, yeah, that's good. And Steno, who also isn't in.
Not gonna tell us.
DJ.
All right, let me know when you got the full starting grid, and let me
Yeah,
know
later.
order from it quickly. We're gonna have
Alright.
to figure out clear restart protocols sooner enough with everything else.
Polygon.
So with what Pluto set? I'm gonna tell.
Seed. Rowdy. You said Rowdy ain't in, right?
Correct.
Hello.
Trying to sort 10 things at once, and it's so annoying. I'm
Aye.
trying to get it.
Jab. Yep. And Will. And Billy. Macon. And Joe. Right, perfect. So I've got. I'll start.
let me
at
just
the
make
bottom,
sure.
Going to top. Yeah.
Okay.
We've got Surfy, then Shot, then James. Sorry, Atlantis. Say that,
Sophie
yeah.
shot. Okay. Yep.
Then Thrasher, Foley, TGR, Aonokon, Sam Steed,
Sam, Joseph,
Joseph, Polo,
Polo,
Doggy, Jab,
Doggy, Jab, Will,
Will, then Pluto, Matty,
Pluto,
Tom,
Matty.
and Joe.
All right, that should be right.
Cool. Confirm changes. Let me quickly check it's actually stayed because this game is awful and it might have changed itself. Nope, it's all good. Then, yeah, I've got clear, overcast, and wet. I think it's all good. I think so. 100% certain.
All right. All right, we should be good to ready up.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Right, let's hope the game doesn't break again this time.
Does not take 2 seconds when everybody's not in. I was trying to sort if Riles, Rowdy. Oh, I know Rowdy wasn't gonna join. Riles or Stenner were gonna join. I got no response from them, so they're gonna get DMs asking as to why they did not join the restart back. And that'll be a big question to be asked. However, attempt number 2 at this.
Attempt number 2, hopefully the only attempt that's needed.
I hope so.
Then again, you know what the saying is, third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Right, well, hello again, chat.
All right. Hopefully the drivers have not forgot their setups. As for results, I can tell you, Rowdy's not in. Neither is Riles or Stunner, and I'm gonna figure out that whole deal as to why they're not in. And are we waiting on anything here? Now we got the counter. There we go. The timer, I meant. Whatever.
Let's hope everyone remembered their setups.
Jamie, is it fully dry?
I did
'Cause Sam
the
said something about it being fully dry.
sentence you said.
Jesus. Let me see this. Let me see what main chat's saying.
I know I put. You said clear, then
What the
overcast, then wet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I put.
that's
I
what
even,
it was.
I even checked it like 3 times to make sure it didn't change itself.
It's fully dry. Oh my
Oh,
lord.
I hate this
It's
game.
fully, all the drivers are saying fully dry.
Yeah, I hate this game.
All of the drivers are saying fully dry. I don't understand.
I, oh my God. I literally checked it multiple times to make sure it hadn't changed, and it hadn't.
Oh my lord. What a joke. What a joke.
Fucking hell, I hate this game, man.
I literally checked the settings with Jamie. That's the thing.
Yeah, I literally changed it. I checked it with you. I made sure it was all good. And the game's just changed itself.
Why? And there are other people starting on different tires. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so confused. This is because there are also people ready up as soon as I got in the session.
Yeah. So some people must not have setups.
Some people must not have set up.
In
This
fact,
is a
probably the vast
complete
majority.
mess.
Because obviously you have to underfuel, you have to like do setups, tires, everything. Yeah, even Sam Steele is on softs.
And I don't even think he got a chance to change tires because
Yeah,
here we go.
100% that.
I don't know. And look, I mean, if you actually had that on the settings you had it on, and it changed it by itself, that I can't blame you on. But if you didn't, then there's going to be big issues on that. That's going to be frustrating if that's the case.
Honestly, I'm just more annoyed about the weather changing itself. I literally checked with you like multiple times to make sure they're all good.
I know. It was clear, overcast, and then light rain, which was wet.
And that's what I put.
And you said you had that right. You said you had the grid right, and the grid is all right.
Yeah.
All the stuff is right here, but whatever. Here we go. One more time at this for the French Grand Prix. Here we go. Chaos, controversy. It's lights out once again. Joe gets a decent start. Com's going to be alongside, but Joe gets a good start in the second phase, and now is still ahead. And they're going to be side by side at turn 1. Com side by side still. Pluto side by side with Joe. Sorry, Maddie side by side with Joseph. But Joe leading, and there's trouble at the back.
Two at the back.
There's 2 cars spun
Sam
around.
and
That's
Jab.
Sam and Jab. Jab, the championship contender's been spun round. Also, trouble at the back for Atlantis and Thrasher and TJR. Also making contact. Going off a little bit was Will Cromack. Will Cromack had a bit of contact. Floyd Foley also a bit of contact with Will. Now at the front of the field, here's Joseph for second place on Joe, who already had the lead taken from him by Com. The Haas trying to weave up their tires, trying to get temperature into them. Especially considering everything that happened already in Gongi ahead of Pluto.
Ooh, I think that's
They
Polo.
might not have a setup in.
Oh, yeah, Polo round.
Now Surfy. Yeah, I had a Polo because he's around. It's the second time Polo has spun, and now Will already trying to gain. Shots got by Foley. Position swap there, and now Pluto by Guggy, and Pluto's around from contact with Guggy. Now shots
Jot is
around.
as well.
It's trouble for Pluto again, the championship leader, as he sees his championship rival go by him. Unbelievable. Oh, there's more contact between them. That's the fourth race they've made contact at this season. And luckily, this time it didn't end in tears. Now Surfy pushes out TJR. TJR in the runoff. Now Thrasher trying to get through. TJR advances his position in the runoff too. Calm leading the lap, but they're going to try to go through wide for a second.
Sam Stevens retired in pits again. This time it hasn't glitched. And Polo has lost his entire front wing.
Front wing, yep. TGR, 5 seconds for gaining a place, cutting the corner. For the lead, Calm, Joseph.
Polo's around again.
And Joe, yeah, Polo is around again. Shot already having trouble with his race. Luckily this time Sam Steed's cars come out of the pit lane, so
yeah,
that's
it didn't actually block
at least
it.
a good thing glitch-wise. But trust me, if you're wondering about how I feel about today, yeah, I'm quite aware.
Good.
I've already discussed some stuff privately with the admins that I want to address, and there was already going to be an admin meeting tomorrow about certain things, and maybe we'll have to do one about restarts specifically, and I understand as to why drivers can be upset about it. However, it's not a next season planner thing with just that. It's a admin thing for this season now, so we can have a clear-cut final 3 races, because if we're having restarts similar to a different league that a lot of people hate seeing restart, then it's not a good thing. That's Surfy around. But your championship contenders of Pluto and Jab are now having to fight their way through the field again. And this is big for the championship. Here's Pluto on the outside of Thrasher. These two have been at it before. Made nothing of that one. Sam Steed, trouble for him already. Paulo, speaking in the pit lane, unsurprisingly retires from this race. Yeah. This is just the race, or the type of race we were fearing to have happen. Is that fair to say?
Polo's car is moving, so it hasn't pitted at the time.
Okay, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Here's Foley on Goggy now for 5th place in this race. Can Foley go alongside Goggy? He can overtake Engaged. He will go through, and he's ahead. Behind that, Thrasher and TJR also fighting for points positions.
Com is starting to pull a decent gap away from Joseph.
Most definitely.
Right. Well, I guess at least the pit lane ain't blocked this time.
Will Cromack behind Aaron Ocon as well. I can't wrap my head around what has happened today, I won't lie. However, we need to make a lot of things clear. And look, that is for what next season planning stuff is. I get that, you know. But this is stuff we're going to have to make clear now, not for next season. For what's going on right here with restart procedures. Here comes Thrasher on TJR. Is he going to the inside? No, he's going to back off. He might have to back him for a second, but
A bit right.
Pluto's going to have to be
there.
careful waiting behind these guys too. Because Jab also in this chain, Pluto also in this train. Big for the championship if you're Pluto or Jab. Jab's going to have to get by Pluto sometime soon. But now, I don't know who's at fault with the Pluto Goggy
TJR
contact, but oh, there's more contact! Oh, that's TJR, that's Thrasher colliding. I think Pluto ran in the back from him, but he doesn't have any visible damage. However,
Don't think Pluto does.
Thrasher does. Here's Jab on Atlantis. Jab trying to get through. Here's first. TJR trying to go back at Pluto. Gotta go side by side of the chicane. With that damage TJR has, he has to let Pluto by, and now there's a spin!
Ooh,
Atlantis
spun
and
around.
TJR. Jab had contact. He has to use the runoff, and he's losing even more time.
Get ready for a lot of tickets this afternoon.
No, I don't even think just regular tickets, Sterling-wise. Might see some complaints otherwise. A load of things. Pluto and Thrasher now. This is for 9th place. Pluto in the points, but just barely. Similar to the Season 1 race for him. He's going to need a safety car to bring this back at him.
TGR's out. He's crashed out.
TGR. Yep, he's crashed. This could bring out a safety car. And it has.
Yep, safety car.
Thrasher pitted right there, too.
Helps Thrasher. And Jab is
So-
also pitted to get rid of that damage.
So this changes the outcome surely. I know TGR mentioned about retiring and to get rid of the 8 seconds, but I don't think he meant crashing out. So, hope that's not intentional.
Bit of
and
a
I'm not
weird
trying to
place
assume
to
it is,
crash. I'm not trying to say
but
it is. It's a bit of a weird
right,
place
I
to
know,
crash out.
I know, and we don't want to go to assumption as if it is because we've been wrong multiple
Yeah,
times
we
on
can't,
that
we
stuff.
can't
So
just assume that.
I do not, but it just doesn't make sense.
Who knows? I think, yeah, shots pitting. Surely not to retire. Yeah, no. Just give him a Right, well, we can see the clear-cut winners out of that start in chaos. Joseph and
Well,
Con.
yeah, I'm not even gonna focus on the position change. I'm more focused with getting this race done. Don't worry, I'll make for my absence by flipping on the formation lap next week. Rowdy TJ Boy says. Well, yeah, I'm telling you that right there. And look, I don't get the blame anything toward me. I know TJR pinged me about it already, but I checked with you. You were the lobby host, so that is the thing there that is.
We checked
Worth
everything
mentioning.
over like 3 times.
We did. So
Everything was
it's
all
not
good.
like, right, and it's not like at that point you could say, hey, you know, it's my fault. I didn't check with it. You can go back to the commentary stream and check everything I said. Check the weather. I made sure twice. I made sure, I think, almost 3 times. I made sure with the grid with you. Everything was fine with the grid. Weather. Fine with that. Now, you know, here's my thing, though. They said it's clear for the full time, but is the game telling them something different? Because look at the clouds forming.
That did happen to me before as well. I got told that it was
Right.
a rain race and it
So-
was completely dry.
Right. So if that's what we're seeing, I hope that's the case instead
I
of.
hope so.
Right.
Well, there's
I
another
hope so. That's the only thing I can hope.
glitch. I prefer that
It-
over.
Well, I get why what Chungus was saying is that it's unraceable or whatever, where there's glitches with lag and everything else. You know, I know we talked about in the admin chat, you know, about is it anything to do with you hosting, but it's so hard to tell when this game's just
Clouds are starting to look
got
like they're getting a
everything
bit
going
dark.
on. Yeah, I know, which is why the settings may have not shown they're applied, but then they are. You know, that's what makes it tough for these drivers, and I bet they're asking, just in case. Is there rain? Is there rain? Is there rain? Because that should be something every driver is on the
Yeah.
radio to mark for at this point in the stage of the race.
So I know for certain that I had all. We know that the settings were right. If there's no, I think there is rain. I think the game's just glitched out and told them there was none because those clouds are getting dark.
Yeah.
Because it's like what I said. I think it was Imola. I went with a wet setup because the race told me it was completely wet. Obviously, it wasn't. Bone dry.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I'm hoping. I'm hoping with this cloud cover now, I'm hoping that
I'm
it
thinking
actually
it's
is
just
applied
getting
to
glitched now. It's
second-
there's no rain.
But if there's going to be rain, I'm thinking this is lap 18, lap 19 area where it could be.
Yeah.
If there is. I don't know. It looks like it's getting cloudier, so to me, could be seeing rain.
We just want know until it happens.
Any driver who stayed out, though, is in somewhat of a good position here, especially if you're Pluto, because Pluto's got the track position over Jab, and that could maybe play a big dividend. I don't know. I don't know. Am I on the edge of throwing up, or am I on the edge of, like, waiting to see what happens? Because it just continues to get more cloudier and cloudier and cloudier, you know. Was it applied? Was it not applied? We'll have to see.
Oh yeah, those clouds are getting dark there. Must be rain.
Sort out.
Surface pit again.
He may have had front wing damage
Maybe,
from
yeah.
the TJR incident. Didn't pit the first time.
Yeah.
However, he could be going. By the way, he could be going hards now because those drivers on softs. If there is rain continuing, and I want the drivers to go to Mark and be like, "Is there rain? Is there rain?" And hey, it might not tell him it is, but look at how cloudy it's getting. It could still be rain, and we just didn't know it. You know, this is going to be a big term of events, but I'm telling you, this is the kind of race we feared. This is the kind of race we feared of happening. Of what everything happens when it's turned into a complete shit show. You know, I mean, and it's not completely the admin's fault or, you know, my fault. It's also the game's too. And I'm not trying to take the blame away from me or anybody, but it's something that we can't entirely help when there's glitches like these. We have to make sure everything is right, and we did.
Ow.
We did. Well, I get that.
Because I mean,
But
the
I think
restart may
the
have been a
time
bit
for restart
chaos.
usually is 5 to 10 minutes, but it was about 15 minutes though. That's not how long a restart should take. Let's be honest here with that part at least.
But
I'm not
we
trying to
were
down myself or anything,
We were
there's no
trying
need to,
figure out
but
who was joining, who
it happens.
wasn't, the grid,
Right.
the weather.
And that is also where it gets messy, where drivers such as Riles or such as Rowdy did notify us, but Riles and Stenner did not notify us that they were not going to rejoin. Riles may have had to go, which understandably so, but we did not get a notification from Riles. We did not get a notification from Stenner that they weren't joining. That's where I have also to make sure, are they going to join? And the whole rule setting on certain things too is also a big question, because clearly that's not clear enough if we're having to ask each other certain things about tires and everything else, or whatever the case is. And penalties, there are stuff that are clearly not clear in the rules enough. And that is exactly why, you might not be an next season player, JB, but that's exactly why I'll mention some stuff, and it's nothing against, you know, Rickson, where he might say some stuff is useless to ask, but, and I get why he says that, I do, don't get me wrong, for the next season planners. But the thing with that though is, this is why stuff like me asking clarity or me thinking things can be done a certain way instead of the way most may want it, or may have a suggestion for something. That is exactly why that this type of situation were to come up, that it's important to address it now. And this type of situation, there are not just one thing we need to address. We need to address a couple of things, multiple things, before the next race at Austria. Therefore, this situation does not happen again. We don't need to wait till Abu Dhabi or the week before Abu Dhabi when there's an off week. We need to do it now. That's not stuff for next season. It is, but it's stuff for now too. That's where the important focus is as well. And I want to know your thoughts as well.
Yes. It's just. I mean, obviously, I know it took quite a long time to actually get the race started. Oh, so gone. But like, in my opinion, I think people are being a bit overly critical over the restart. I mean, we made sure the settings were right, and then we had to wait for everyone to rejoin so I could start do the grid, which I did. So I know it's been a bit chaotic, but like I say, I think people have been overly critical of it.
Just because things aren't right, and when things aren't right, I mean, I try to safety car in the slot, by the way. I try to expect things to be as best as they can be, and I understand that. However, you can't blame the admins for the weather. You can't blame the admins for the weather at all. You can't blame you for the weather, because you checked it right in front of me, you checked it on the commentary box. So anybody blaming for anybody for the weather, that's not an understandable argument. Anything else, though, maybe I can understand. Even the rule on tires and everything else. That's why we're going to make sure...
Oh, yeah. Tires and
that aspect.
Like people complaining about
There we go.
tires, people instantly readying up. I understand that.
The instant ready up may be part of that too, so we'll have to check on that. Here we go. Green flag once again for the French Grand Prix. Gaggy now is challenging for a podium. You know, we took a poll vote earlier and we said, hey, who's going to be the next driver who has not taken a podium to take one? Gaggy was on that list of drivers who everyone thought could take a podium today, or at the next opportunity. And this is the perfect opportunity to do just that. Joe leading, Matty Moon was second, and Foley third. Foley has not seen the podium since race number 1, his only podium and his only win in the league, back in the Mercedes. At the back of the field, you have Jab in 11th and Pluto in 7th, your championship contenders. It'll be important to watch them to where they can recover where they're at. We have Weaving on the back straight from Aaron Ocon, trying to get temperature in those tires. Do you have trouble on the restart doing that? Here's Matty Mumu getting overtaken by Foley. Foley dives it, but gets through. Foley and Foley up to second place already. Now Matty Mumu challenging back. Can't do so. Here's Pluto on Will. This is an important position for the championship. Here's shot on jab. But Pluto goes through on Will. And now that 39-point lead becomes 47. Here's Atlantis and Thrasher. There's contact. Again, there's more contact.
Oh, they're both
Banging
around.
and around. Thrasher around. Jab, luckily didn't get collected. Com and Will went side by side, and there's contact with Will and Joseph. Jab, it's also important for him to get by Surfy. He can't do so. More contact with Joseph and Will. And I know people mention the driving centers. I definitely think that has to do with the official restart and everything else. Here's Joseph by Will now. Gets through. And luckily, Pluto and the DRS train to the top two. Jab by Surfy now. Jab has finally got by Surfy, and that's important. And it's important for him to stay ahead and now go catch shot before any sort of rain could come. Especially if this was a glitch as to it being completely clear the whole time. I'll have to see what happens in that. I do think there's a chance of that now that we say that, but we'll have to find out. We have to see if it plays out like that. Going wide, I believe, was Aaron Ocon or Gagi, one of the two. We've had Pluto get caught up by Com there for a moment, and now losing out to this DRS train is Jab. Up in front of that, though, is Gagi and Aaron gonna go side by side of the chicane. Gagi gets forced out. Aaron goes ahead, and Aaron gets a 3-second time penalty in the process. Behind that, Shot on Will Cromack. Shot has the 5-second penalty to be served in this race, so Jab would be in the points by now. It's at least important to grab as much points as you can on a day like this. The championship contenders. Mark says no rain expected, from what TJR said.
I don't know what's happening, but I put everything what I was told to put, so...
Right, I know. So you getting criticized for that is not fair.
This is completely unfair. I'm getting shat on for something that wasn't even my fault.
I know. You should be. Atlantis, fastest lap at the back of the field on softs. At least that's something to enjoy for him.
Yeah.
No. Again, as we continue with this racing, I won't lie. I understand why drivers are upset, especially with Rule 4.10, which has been pointed out quite a bit to me. I'm aware. And it's frustrating. But,
I mean, I still think
again,
there's going to be
things have
rain.
just got to be more clear with the tires. I do too. You know, and I know Overcast does not always show rain,
Yeah.
but here we go. Comet alongside Pluto into the
Come on.
chicane, side by side. Pluto staying ahead. Can Com try to switch this back? He's going to hang it around the outside. There's touching with the wheels. And Pluto stays ahead. But no, with what you mentioned with the rain and everything, if it's going overcast at this point of the race, wouldn't you think there'd be rain?
It's like...
With when it was going to
Obviously,
get
I'll put-
overcast?
Yeah, I put clear overcast. It's now going to overcast. So
Right.
the weather must be right. The game is just bugged out and told them there's no rain.
The only thing that can't be blamed on admins or me or you is the rain. It's the rain.
Mm.
And the whole weather settings. That cannot be blamed on you. However, I do think there are things that can be blamed on admins, blamed on me or whatever. I understand that. We're not going to keep talking about it too much.
Let's
but
just focus on
to make it
everything
clear,
that's going on
just to
in
make
the
it
race
clear.
now.
Well, correct. Just to make it clear though to people, all this will be highlighted this week and made sure of before we go into the next race. And
Pressure is clear.
it'll be made sure. Is this a retirement or is this to fix damage? What's this going to be about? Let's see. We'll have
Doesn't
to
look
find out.
like
But
he has
no,
damage.
all this will be made sure of before the next race. And I think I have the document pulled up regarding that, but we'll talk about it after. I understand there are going to be a lot of drivers who want it talked about after.
And now Sam Steed is saying there is rain. Mark has told everyone.
Rain in 15. Rain in 15. So
Alright.
that is important for
Alright.
these drivers still in the mediums. Will Foley. They're going to have to hang it out continuously. So there is rain in 15 minutes. What a wacky Grand Prix we've seen. Here's Pluto now on Gagi. He's going to re-overtake him. Will this one go cleanly, though? Gagi's still hanging around the outside. At the fast right. He's got to hang it maybe to the inside this time if he wants to have a chance to re-overtake. Got to have some patience here, Gagi. But he does concede the spot. Thankfully so, because you got to have the patience, especially when you're battling Pluto. Or even drivers involved in the championship battle with him. You got to have patience. And Gagi did a smart thing right there, backing off and not going for it again. Gave him a good fight. But rain in 15 as we're hearing. So there is rain, but it just didn't show. So yeah, there we go.
And now
Will
we see.
Cromack into the pit lane. And we've seen a 5-second
Oh,
time
he sped.
penalty for speeding in the pits. Now we got Blue Gagi and Calm. Calm on Gagi now. For 6th place in this race. Gonna go side by side into turn 1. Gagi hanging around the outside. Gonna go wide, and there's contact. He's around. Oh, no. He's doing so well. Just made a mistake, went wide. It allowed Calm ahead, and then there was contact at turn 2. Spinning Gagi around. What a wacky race. 10 to 15. So this will get good. That now allows Jeb to 8th place. Pluto would be net P4 right now. Aaron close to the back of Maddie. Aaron looking for another podium. Would it be fair to say that today could be a day where he could do it? Gotta wait and find out. Not much overtake left on his battery. What a wacky day.
Go with massive gap to Florian.
Yeah.
Pretty much 2 seconds.
And he's going to continue to continue to pull it, but the top 5 have yet to pit. Will we see fully pit? Nope, he stays out. And I think he's going to wait till this rain.
Yellow flags.
Yellow flags.
Shots wide.
And
Yeah,
a
shots
shot.
wide
Yep,
again.
he's got the 5 seconds, so it's made matters worse for him. No chance at the points now unless we get a safety car, unless the rain makes a big impact. So yeah, we are seeing rain. So, you know, I
I
mean,
don't even know at this point. So they're saying there is rain. Apparently it's after the race. Shot around again. I think shots will tie on at this point. Yeah.
I've never liked the idea of drivers giving up unless they're a lap down.
Or
I really
maybe
must
isn't.
not lie in that. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm just putting that out there as a thing, but here's Pluto on Aaron Ocon now. Pluto on the back of Aaron Ocon. He's got a lot more Australian speed. Both with the DRS. Gonna pull alongside in this back straight. Gonna be side by side. Pluto going ahead. Instead of Aaron. So now I gotta wonder, because of all the tire stuff, and this has to be brought up at some point eventually, because of drivers, you know, possibly being on the wrong tire, we'll use that example. You know, one concern I have, or one question I have, is drivers who were made to start on the wrong tire and couldn't get it in, or, you know, couldn't get in because people readied up or whatever too early, you know, is that something we would penalize after? It's going to be a whole mess, and I have to be there for it. It's just as simple as that. And that's the sad part, but
I don't envy the
I-
admin team have to deal with this now.
that's going to be a question that'll be raised after the race, surely, so we'll have to figure that one out. Jab, 4 seconds off of Joseph. We have
Just pitting.
Atlantis pitting. Yep, their brand new pair of tires. Halfway in this race, so we're halfway done. Pluto goes into the back of his teammate. Matty closing to Foley. Foley keeping a decent gap in these worn mediums. However, he's losing a little bit of time to Joe now, as we can see.
Oh, James had wing damage at the entire time.
Oh, okay. Thrasher,
Thrasher
5-second
instead.
time penalty for speeding.
Oh,
And this is a
giving up.
retirement. Pluto trying to slipstream Matty on this back straight. Trying to go. Catch his teammate, pass him, get another point. More points in this championship fight into Austria, where we could see the championship clinched with the way this has gone. Same with the constructors. Both Haas drivers in the top 5 right now, so
Joe has massive gap to Florian now. Without nearly 3 seconds.
2.8. Here's Matty on the back of Florian. Are we going to see any moves being made?
Just
Yo,
with
flags
Florian
on
with
front
only
straight. That's for
3% of ERS.
Okay. More yellow flags. That's for Thrasher's retired car. Never mind. But the front 7 all within a train. All having a lot to gain. Oh, Aaron ducks out and goes to the pit lane. That was close to contact.
Ooh.
Jesus. Wow. And that could have been deadly to all the races. Now here's Matty for his race trying to get by Foley. Gonna go side by side before turn 1 getting through. Now Florian Foley trying to go back at it with the medium tires. Gonna try to pull alongside. Is he gonna have a go?
He just
No,
doesn't have enough
can't.
ERS
Here's-
to go for an overtake.
He doesn't have enough he doesn't have enough wear on his tires to contend with the hard runners. Hard runners have a lot more wear on their tires, surely.
Shot around
Yeah,
again.
more yellow flags at a shot. That's 13th place right there.
No, he just doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough battery. His wear should be quite high.
And that's going to allow Pluto to gain even more. Pluto's going to gain now at this too. And the slipstream can't make anything of it yet. On the more worn tires.
Yeah,
Foley
at least they're
is-
playing it safe. They're
Pluto.
not going for dives.
2.5
Shot
seconds.
around
Yellow
again.
flags. That's shot at the far corner. Well, here's Pluto and Foley. Gets the move done. Now up to the podium spot. Every France race, Pluto's had some sort of trouble. This one, he's able to get back at and do the same thing he did in season 1 and gets the podium. And the question is, when will rain come? We said 10 or 15 minutes about 5 minutes ago, at least at a minimum, so we'll have to see when it is coming.
James with another 3 second.
Nobody is pitting except for Foley on the mediums.
Yeah.
Speeding. Saw that one
Ooh.
coming. Now it's
That's
up to
obviously
the
not going to help.
Haas drivers to catch the Red Bull of Joe.
Jab has also
This
pitted.
season, here we go. Actually, Pluto alongside Matty's going to go around the outside. His teammate will let him by. Unless he just backed off early and Pluto took advantage. The 2 Haas drivers will swap places, and that's Pluto up to second now trying to catch
Engine
Matty.
on. Yep.
And he spun again.
Yeah, he's putting too much power in.
Jab pits for mediums. This is right before the rain period. Is this rain going to come soon enough? Calm now in the back of Matty, challenging Matty. Atlantis with a 10 second. But here's Matty defending. Calm to the right side. Calm's going to go and pull alongside to get the position. He will go ahead
I think
fully.
he's given up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Oh, Joseph has to run wide and avoid hitting Matty.
Shot is
But
also
now-
around again.
This 4-car train have all got even closer to each other again. Will on the back of Foley after pit stops. Here's Will pulling alongside of Foley. Will getting another point. Jab behind this as well. Both have 5 seconds, so Jab would be 9th right now in the running order. 3.4 between the leaders. I meant to say, we saw, what is it? 8 different winners? Is it 8 different winners this season so far? 5, 6, 7, 8 different winners. However, we've seen, let me see, 1, 2,
He's in the
3.
pits.
There you go. First Haas driver to pit. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 first-time winners this season. Joe could be our 7th, and Joe could be our 9th different winner for this race. Surfy also still staying out, 5 seconds behind. Matty pits onto the mediums, and he cannot lash it out any longer. Is the rain coming down? No. But those 10 to 15 minutes could be coming soon.
Hope it doesn't
Gonna have to get some updates from the drivers. You know, can you imagine if it doesn't rain? Calm and Joseph are in the prime position. Same with Surfy right here. Goggy hasn't pitted yet at all. Yellow flags.
Will.
That's the first sector. That is Will. You're right. Jab gets a position from that too. And Jab's going to be on the hunt to gain Matty. And Florian Foley gets ahead of Matty. That undercut proving worthy right there. However, they're on 2 completely different tires. Matty on the mediums, the fresher mediums, the faster mediums. And Foley on the hards, which will kick in later and be more crucial and helpful when the rain period does come.
I'd be surprised if Joe or Pluto doesn't pit this lap, or even both.
Now, I'm curious toward this now. It's at a full dry race, but considering there's rain on the way, you know...
It's possible
if
they
there's
might be
rain
trying to
and
hold out for the rain.
Right, but the thing is, my question is, are they going to have to pit the people who didn't pit yet? That's my question,
stays
because
out.
in a race, as Pluto pits, Calm staying out, Joseph staying out. Interesting here. Surfy staying out. He had the 3-second right there.
Here comes
But
Goggy.
in a race that, but listen, in a race that had
Yeah.
full dry patches shown before the race, with rain coming on the way, just what's the difference between the patches and the rain coming? Because if there's rain coming in the race, you don't have to pit. If there's a rain patch and there's no rain, you don't have to pit. But there's rain when there's no rain patches shown. So what does that mean for drivers like Joe, for Goggy? That's important to note. Maddie now in Foley for this position while Pluto comes out of the pit lane right in front of them. Maddie getting ahead and Pluto ahead too. However, he's going to have to warm up these medium tires a little bit, which will allow Maddie into DRS. And Pluto, by the way, behind these leaders, 26 seconds. It takes 23 to 24 seconds for a pit stop. It'll be crucial for Pluto to gain.
Com also got a 3-second during all of that.
So that'll be important. Joseph also trying to challenge for the podium.
I reckon Joe's probably a little slap, surely.
Maddie trying to gain on his teammate. Here's Pluto and Maddie. Not seen much battles from them. They've been very content with where they're at as teammates.
Joe stays out again. Oh, he's really pushing these cards.
Com and Joseph both too. And they pitted early in the race, so they're fine. So if that is the case, Com and Joseph could be net leader right here.
I reckon Joe is trying to push.
Could be.
Goggy also stays out.
Yeah.
So
Are
surely
they
Joe
pushing
has
the
to be banking
period?
on this rain. If it, oh, Joe's around.
Oh, from the lead! This is big! Your leader has bottled it! He's around!
Sorry, I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
Oh my god! And this changes hands. Joseph, your net leader, and he makes a mistake too! He's now gonna lose DRS to Com. Unless he can gain it back right here. He can't. And they're both on similar battery. What? That is big, especially if Joe does end up pitting now. Because that gap to Pluto now 18 seconds. So if Joe does end up pitting and Pluto doesn't, he's passed him on the pit stops already. Same with Maddie, same with Foley, and same with Jab. And Jab with no penalties around these guys. Foley with penalties. Jab has now put himself in the conversation with DRS. Always finds a way to do so, Jab does. Always. Every single race.
Is he giving up? No, he's still going. So, do you reckon Joe pits slap them? 99 old. 19 lap old halves. Do you reckon he pits? He stays out again.
Joseph stays out too. Joe stays out. Surfy stays out. Does Goggy though.
That's Goggy. He is on 19 lap. Stays out.
Stays out. Stays out. So he's having to bank on the rain period. And that's what I wonder. You know for sure Com and Joseph and even Surfy can go the full way. But the question will be, is Joe going to be at a nearing disqualification rate? Same with Goggy. Or what does that make of it? We don't know. We don't know. Because, there's rain on the way, as we've mentioned, and we don't see it raining yet. Could be at the end of the race. Don't know. But from what we've seen, are they even going to have to pit? That's just... it's tough to think about. It's tough to think about, especially with the way the game is. I wish we had a competent game, but we don't. Joseph doesn't have DRS that time on Com, but he's still within 3 seconds. Could be eyeing a first win here. Pluto DRS on Aaron Ocon now. Look at how much he's going to gain in the straight, even without the battery usage. Still gaining a ton with DRS. That's how much that Australian speed can help Pluto. And even Maddie. Here's Aaron with a little mistake, allowing Pluto to take advantage. Where does Pluto go? Aaron leaves the door open on the left side, but Pluto takes the right side here. Overtake button engaged for a moment. Going to be side by side. Pluto down to 7th. Aaron going wide. Aaron gives that one easy to him. Jab and Foley now. Oh, this is close. Oh, jab almost running in the back of him. Foley having to defend. And again, staying out as Calm, staying out as Joseph. Staying out as Joe and Surfy. Thrasher keeps saying there's no rain, it's after the race.
Yeah, I just talked to
Apparently.
James as well. I messaged him. He said it's not raining.
Boy. So then that's what Joe and Gagi are going to have to bank on. They're banking on maybe going softs here at this point. And they're going to have to if there's no rain. If there is no rain. You know, I mean, this game is so glitchy, that could even be wrong. That could even be right. Jab spins! Around! Oh my god, and his chance.
Does he just
at
hang on to
keeping a
points though?
position is now in question. Yeah, well, he does. He's 10th, so
Yeah.
keeps points,
I
but
wasn't
it's
sure
now in
if Will
question.
was coming back fast enough.
So with Pluto now gaining on Gagi, if he takes this position, it's 49 points in the championship, or 48 points in the championship now. And
Here he
46
goes.
goes to 48 here in just a moment.
Ooh.
Oh no, it doesn't! They make contact!
He keeps it though.
Madian gets by Aaron as well. Now Pluto back at it with Gagi.
Oh, he's in past.
Pluto! Yeah, I saw he darted all the way to the right, making sure Gagi was going to give him the room, and he did. Gagi tried to fight that back into the fast right-hander, couldn't do so. Oh, these two. Oh, Aaron's off!
What happened?
Aaron's
Oh,
off.
Aaron.
And has he lagged out? Or is he still in?
He's still in.
Something's going on with Aaron. He is, but he's got passed by Foley now.
Goes
And with
stays
that
out
penalty,
again.
he has two, by the way. With that penalty, he has two, as Maddie gets by his brother. With that penalty, he has that now can
Oh, no, it's just
have
this.
Jab take advantage for 9th.
Yep.
Shot with a time penalty now. Now the two brothers on track. Once again, DRS. Now Pluto's gonna have to gain at Surfy, and Surfy has that 3-second for track limits. Pluto has to go within 3 seconds now. And it is starting to rain, I can see on the
Yeah, I was just
halo.
about to say. I wasn't
You
sure
can
if
start
it
to
was
see the
good.
rain. Yeah, there
It
we
is
go.
starting to rain.
Here we go. It is starting to rain. So we have rain in the closing laps. And is it enough for inners? Joe and Gagi, we have to see what they do. This could play a big difference in how this race is decided. But however, 1.2 at the front of the field between Joseph and Calm. Calm hasn't seen a podium since his win in Bahrain. Joseph, not a podium since Saudi Arabia. Joe, 3 third places, currently running 3rd right now, which could be taken over by Surfy for a first podium finish. What an incredible circumstance this race has gone to. I'm... Even some stuff that should have happened, shouldn't have happened. What is going on?
Also, just
So
wanna
the rain
quickly
at the end of the
point out,
race has turned into...
Yeah.
Or sorry, after the race has turned into the end of the race at least, so...
Yeah.
There you go.
Just want to quickly point out, James did not keep his streak of getting a podium in France.
There you go.
Just a salt in the wound.
Go 3 for 3 is not bad. Yo, flags. That's
Zan
Aaron
up
O'Connor.
again.
Off again in the same corner. This now allows Jab to 9th. And that does make him have another point position. And it's raining hard. It's raining hard. You can
It's
see the
done.
drivers losing time. You can see the drivers at the final couple
don't think
corners with
it's
Gagi
gonna-
and Foley starting to lose tons of time.
Don't think it's going to be enough for him to attack.
With the gap Calm and Joseph have over Pluto, which is 17 seconds, what are they made to do? DRS disabled!
disabled!
That's time for inners! I told you it was raining hard enough. Here we go!
Ah!
Gagi losing the rear. Oh my god! Joe is in prime position to still hold on to a podium. And he's trying to find temperature into this tire. Aaron and Will go for inners. This is going to be big to everybody's race to hit the pit lane now, especially with the Haas drivers having a double stack. Foley and Gagi again on a wet track going side by side. Down the back straight, side by side, wheel to wheel, almost touching. Overtake, none of it left for Foley. He has to concede the spot to Gagi. It is getting treacherous out there.
Oh!
And Milo
contact.
has to keep it within 3 seconds of Calm for sure by the time they enter the pits. Any big mistake is crucial. Do not speed in the pit lane if you're the leaders. Gagi has to concede to Foley. Shot gets a penalty for speeding. Now the leaders are in.
They're playing so careful here.
Joseph having to lock up in
comes
order to
Joe.
not speed. Joe is in. You have to make sure you're under the pit lane correctly. We're watching every driver on board to make sure they do so. Surfy goes wide. Pluto stays out.
Pluto
Maddie
stays out.
stays out. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
No way they just did that, because if Jab pits, this could be a big difference to their race. No
Jab is
way.
pitting.
Goggy pits. Jab pits. This is big. This is big.
Now they just got to be careful.
They're in the lead, but they're not in the lead by much. Look at now, Calm and Joseph in 3rd and 4th, coming out of the pit lane, 5 seconds behind the leaders. Unbelievable. No way they chose to stay out. No, I can't believe that. So did Foley, by the way, too. He's in 5th right now.
They've got to be so careful. But look at Calm. He's pretty much
Cannot
right
believe
behind
they chose
Matty
to stay
already.
out. Right, exactly. They're struggling.
Yeah, this could. Oh,
Here
this
we
hasn't
go.
worked out.
Oh, they make contact. They spin, and now Joseph will be the net leader. Oh no! Haas's trouble continues to just go and go and go in a spinning circle. Oh my god. 6.3, 6.1. He's just bringing that gap down.
He is
for a
bringing it
first
down
race
so
victory.
fast.
I know. Something told me about this race with him. I said it. I said it in the journalist notes, but he cannot make a mistake. The gap from Pluto to Jab is 34 seconds, 33 seconds, and the gap for a pit stop is 23 to 24. If Jab gains enough by the end of this lap, and Pluto is a bad pit stop, we could see positions swapped. 33, 33.0.
This gamble's
Gap
not
is
worked.
just coming down. I know.
Also
And he
has
stays out
damage as well,
again.
so let's see if anything happens
Is he
with him.
better staying out or is he better pitting? You know, right now,
If he pits, he
if
loses
the
the
rain
majority
comes-
of the positions. I think
Right,
it's better for him
correct.
to stay out.
and I understand why he's look, now I understand why he stays out, because it's
Yeah.
still important for him to beat Jab, but Jab could have more pace on him by the time this race ends with 2 laps to go, and Joseph takes the lead. Joseph leading a race. Could you believe it? If you were told Joseph had the right prediction with me by leading this race, being in position at the end, I wouldn't have believed it. And Maddie, Foley have all given up on those dry tires. Foley serves the 5-second. Maddie pits. Now Calm is trying to gain on Pluto. He goes down the inside. He goes through. Now it's Joe's chance to gain on Pluto. Look at Pluto struggling. Pluto slides!
The gamble didn't work out, but if he
It did
pits
not,
now,
and he's going to continue to lose time.
if he pits now, he
The gap to
loses a lot
Jab
of positions. He
is
has
20
to stay out.
seconds. But he could lose those 20 seconds crucially. And Jab has to gain on Goggy.
I mean, here's the
Oh
thing.
my god.
If he pits, he confirmed loses 20 seconds.
Oh, he's
He's
off!
gone really wide.
He's off! He has to give the spot up to Joe and not cut the corner. This is just struggling. He's going to lose out to Jab surely. But the good thing for him is the gap between Aaron and Jab is 11 seconds, and Aaron has a total of 6 seconds with Will and Foley. But the problem is, Will and Foley and Maddie are all on this train. That's the problem. Joseph now is coming to the final lap of this race.
What an ending. Pluto has to stay out. If he pits, he 100% loses
Here
it.
comes
There's a
Surfy.
slight chance.
Surfy
Oh,
in the back of him. Surfy hits him. Surfy has to go by though. And he does. He gets through. Joseph now takes lap 27 out of 27. What a weird way to this race.
I think
What a
Pluto
weird
may
ending.
just hold on to this.
But he's got a gap to Jab of 7 seconds now.
Look at that. Look at that.
and you're
gap
going to
coming
lose
down.
at least 10 seconds. He's going to lose at least 10 seconds
Yeah.
on a lap from inners to mediums.
Look at that lap.
So
Oh, no, I think
he
may
has
have
to
just
hold
lost
up
out.
Aaron and Will now. He's going to lose out to Jab. Joseph lags out. Invite
no.
Joseph back.
Shit, yeah, I'm
Invite
trying.
Joseph back. This is going to be big to this race. Can Calm pull a 3-second gap?
I've invited him. Oh, no.
I've invited him too. Holy cow. What an end to this race. We
no.
got to focus on the leaders. Because this can be big. Again.
Doggy's got Pluto.
Joseph just joined. There you go. There's a position. Can Jab get Pluto too?
Oh, no. Oh,
Pluto
come
and
on.
Jab. Jab it. Does it
Yeah,
smart.
Jab's got it.
Jab has got it. Now the leaders. Joseph and Calm. Com and Joseph in the final sector. It's a final sector for Joseph. Ghosted in this race.
Oh no!
He's now in. He gets ahead of Com. Com gets ahead of him.
Well, Com
The
does
AI
have
car
penalty,
puts him
right?
behind Com, but Com does have the penalty. That's important to this race. Now for position, Will and Aaron. We're gonna have to flip back to what's happening for our leaders. Joseph made the strategy call to pit for inners, lagged out of this race on the last lap. Com will win the race on track. A lag out to victory for Joseph. Joseph F1 is a race winner in URS in his rookie season. He
Look at that.
finally does it on number 12. Com comes home second. Joe in third. Surfy comes home fourth. A best finish for him. Goggy. Now Will gets by Aaron. There's contact! Aaron and Foley. Pluto may just hang on for seventh, luckily. Here's Maddie as well. But Foley and Aaron Ocon side by side. There's contact. Aaron gets Foley. Pluto hangs on for
holds on to it.
seventh. Maddie, then Will, then Aaron for the final point. What has just happened?
Wow.
Pluto, luckily, was only going to lose 2 points to Jab from that somehow. Wow. And he may have not lost any to him if he pitted when he could have.
Joseph
Oh
and
my
now just
God.
said that he's won with -3 degrees.
Well, that makes sense. What a goat. What a goat. I'm impressed. Shot crosses the line now. You know what? Let's get the top 3 in for post-race interviews. Why not? I was thinking of maybe not, but we have to. We have to. Shot crossing the line now. Oh my god. Make sure you get results, Jamie, when you can.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Just finish the race, please.
He's decided he wants 2 donuts.
Just finish the race. Don't DNF.
What?
Just finish the race.
Finish it, please. Oh, he's
Reverse it.
reversing.
Reverse it. I'll get lapped, but there you go.
There
Hey,
you are.
welcome along, guys. Oh boy. Oh my god.
One ending.
Oh my god. Another first time winner of the season. And it's not who I expected it to be, I won't lie. Wow. But, you know what? I can't say it's not who I expected it to be. It's not who I expected it to be at lap 19. I won't lie on that part. But, I predicted it. Journalist notes, man. Predicted it. Pluto gonna struggle. Who was gonna be the underdog? I don't remember who the underdog was gonna be, but Joseph
Rose, I
is
think,
gonna
is the end of
win the
it.
race. Ryle's gonna be the underdog. Yep. 2 out of 3, right? I'll take it. I'll take it. But chaos, controversy, rain. What a wacky strategy.
It's a good ending.
Oh. Well then. Oh boy. That was a good ending. Joseph F1. Race
Oh, yeah.
victorious. Streak still continues of front row not winning, but it's front row on the podium at least. So there you go. Surfy from 17th on the grid. At least, well, really last, actually. Surfy from last all the way to 4th. Be a good driver of the day nominee, but welcome along, guys. Trust me, we'll get to the show from the whole weekend after, but we're now at 2:30, 7:30 UK, and speaking of 7, that's your number, Joseph, so congratulations first, before I get
Thank
to
you.
the top 3 finishers. Before I get to any questions with anybody, I'll start from 3rd, but I just want to mention you, Joseph. I had a feeling, I did it in journalist notes, I hope you remembered. The curse just Nothing to you today. So, happy with that. Now on to our podium finishers. We're going to start with you, Joe, who finished P3. Joe, you just can't get away from P3. You know, I think you probably would have expected a win today, but it's another P3 finish. Are you at least happy with the third? I know you would have wanted a race win, but are you at least happy to get on the podium?
Yeah, I'm happy with the third. I knew it would be hard going into like that period with the rain with my tyre because I think I ended on about 83%. So I was lucky I didn't get to the puncture. Lucky I didn't spin all once. But even if I didn't spin, I reckon Common Joseph would have catched me up. If not in the dry, they would have caught up in the wet. As I'm just not that good in the wet, so I'm not too displeased with only being third.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really going to get to any questions about the shit show itself, but as to your pace today was phenomenal. From restart for the first initial start to restart to the lead you had. I mean, you had enough pace to where you spun out, you were still be able to finish on the podium. First, what happened with the spin out, and what did you think with your pace today?
With the spin, I'd love to tell you what happened, but I don't have a clue. Just one of these random spins that you get from time to time. So that was annoying. Yeah, my pace. In the first race, I kind of knew I'd have decent pace because I was on a different compound to most. In the second race, I think it was kind of just being in the zone, bit of anger, and just mix of everything to just try help me to be as fast as I can.
Yeah, I think that's the most third place finishes by a driver now at 4 with you. I have to ask, you know, now that you've kept finishing third, when is that win coming?
If I can race next
Red Bull
week,
race?
I'd like to think next week, but not sure if I can race. But if I can race Red Bull Ring, there would be my best shout. Maybe Abu Dhabi. Probably not Japan, but either Austria or Abu Dhabi.
Right. Congratulations on the podium finish, the P3 finish specifically. Burning Man, any questions for him?
Nah.
All right.
Just well done.
Yeah. Have a go at Com, second place finisher. Another podium for him.
Oh. Obviously, well done on getting P2. But when you saw Joseph lag out, how much did you push when you saw that?
I didn't. I said in the party I wasn't going to overtake. That's not fair. And even if I did, it was like I had 2 sectors to go. I doubt the AI. I would have been outraced the AI with Orange Wing by 3 seconds. So you know.
Oh yeah, I saw you had damage. That's how much you had.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw what happened between me and Matty.
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jamie. Any other questions for him?
I don't really. No.
Well, I have a question. So, no, you're good. Don't worry. I think if I'm correct, because Britain season 2, you got the 3rd place finish. Then,
Yeah.
Bahrain, your second podium. I believe it was your second podium.
I won
You got the
Bahrain.
1st place finish. Right,
Yeah.
and that was your last podium to date. Now with this podium, you got a 2nd place finish. You finished on all places the podium. I know which one just feels different than the other, but with this one, finishing on all places the podium. First, how does that feel? Of course, and second of all, did you think a podium was possible with the way the race was playing out?
You know, I'm happy. Obviously, I've gone from P2 to P2. I personally feel like it was my race to win because you know I was net P1, so I had got a 3-second penalty. And then, kind of when it got to near the end of the race, just before the rain, I was worried because my hards were on, I think, 70% just before I pitted. Right, I had four and a bit laps to go, so I don't think I would have made it. So the rain did kind of save me. But then, as I come out of the pits into the rain, I can feel I've got good pace, and I'm confident I can get 3 seconds ahead of Joseph because I'm already 2 seconds when I come out after the first few corners. But then Matty, he's on mediums as I'm about to enter onto the main straight, and I've got nothing against Matty, but I feel like if you do see someone enters coming behind you, you should just go off the track safely and come back on because it has kind of ruined the race win for me, I think. But I'm not going to report it because I'm not like that. But it's one of them. It was my race to win, and I'm still happy with P2 because I can't really complain. The last 5-6 races, I've literally or 4 even, I've not even had like good points or finished top 5. So it's always a positive getting P2, but I should have won in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm sure that costed you a chance at race victory. You seemed like you had the struggling start to the, well, I mean, they're not even the struggling start, but just a struggling season besides the win, really, if I'm being completely honest with you. But
Yeah, it's
all in all,
consistency.
yeah, definitely. All in all, congratulations on the podium. It's good to see you back up here.
Thank you.
It's also good to see you back up here, Joseph. First time to Saudi Arabia, you're a race winner. How
I
about
didn't win
that?
in Saudi Arabia.
Wait, no. I know, podium though. Podium.
Podium,
Back up
yeah.
you were up, yeah. There you go.
Fucking hell, Ryan.
I didn't, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Poor from you.
It's okay.
He's right. He's
It's
right.
okay.
Poor from you.
Oh, yeah, man, it's okay. But, I have to mention, yeah, we saw you last time up here in Saudi Arabia as a podium sitter. I should have probably clarified that. My fault. It's okay. But this time as a race winner. And this time, in such weird circumstances. I know the first start that happened, I could tell you were frustrated with the restart and the way it was going, and you're like, oh, But then, once the second start happened, you got into the groove of things from 9th in the grid, you were battling with Calm the whole race. You were with Calm, and he got the penalty. You probably knew at that point, this is my chance to attack or my chance to stay within 3 seconds. What's this going to be like, and then the rain period came, which I don't know if really anybody expected after the whole shenanigans from the beginning, and you won. Talk us through with what happened before we get to anything about the lag out.
Well, yeah, the first instance of the race, I mean, I gained a lot of positions through spins and whatnot, but track limits was a huge weakness. I was probably sitting on 4 or 5 warnings come the restart. But everything happened so quickly. I ended up in the medium tyres, which I think is legal. So got a good start off of that. I just tried to stick with Calm, and then obviously we both took the gamble with the early safety car. Again, a blessing in disguise. And we filtered through into 1 and 2. I can mention the lag out if you want, but I was rather lost for a moment.
Yeah, I want to see the face cam. I want to see.
I don't have it on.
Highlight of
Don't
your
have it
whole.
on.
You don't have it. You don't have it on for this one. Oh man, come on.
No.
Or do we at least have reactions from your stream or no?
I have a.
Did we at least have that?
I streamed it.
Okay, if we can get a highlight of that, and
I did reassure
okay
Joseph
I'd love that.
I wasn't gonna sweat my ass off to try and get past because that would have been cruel.
Top tier.
Two things.
And don't get me wrong, right? Anyone else that I don't know, mate, I'm sweating my ass off to get past them. Like, I don't care. But Joseph's a friend. He's a friend.
Top tier friend.
Ooh, friend.
Nah, not top tier. Just friend.
Oh.
So my question toward the inter period was, you go to inters. I saw you lock up on the pit entrance, and I'm like, oh, he barely got it down to 37 miles per hour. And then once you come out of the pit lane or head into the pit lane, you realize, wait, Pluto and Maddie, who were near me at one point, stay out. I want to wonder, this is like 3 questions in one, just explaining this, I guess. But at that point, what were you thinking there? And then the second part of that I want to ask is, you see Calm collide with Maddie. What are you thinking there when you see that and fly past him? And then the third part is probably flashbacks to a different AlphaTauri having to deal with lagouts back in my old league ARL at China. You lag out last lap. What are you wondering there? Talk us through it with those last laps to help you win the race.
Yeah, I got all that, I think. So Matty and Pluto, they didn't stand a chance. I'm sorry, it was far too wet. DRS
Right.
disabled was the call. They perhaps should have done it, but it was a good gamble nevertheless in the first place.
Yeah, could have worked out. Could have.
And then with Matty and calm, I just saw the instant and tried to stay calm. I mean, there was the off chance I could have spun myself or hit Pluto or did something silly, so I just made sure that didn't happen. And again with the lag out, so I obviously rejoined and it didn't let me take control for a while, so I probably only took control with the last couple of corners. And I almost spin immediately. And then obviously, right as I crossed the line, I checked my tyre temperatures. I am definitely, absolutely, 100% the only driver to finish and win a race on -3-degree tyres.
And finish a race leading at the end after a lag out. Last lap lag out, win the race. And that's the most craziest circumstances I think I've ever seen in this league with this. And, and you also add the toneless type of thing into it with pitting under the early safety car, going for the win with that. I mean, I have to ask, if anyone told you, and I know you have been questionable to make races now, but put the scenario in your head earlier in the week or even Friday, you're racing this weekend. You know that for sure at that point. Are you even considering the fact, hey, I might go to bed, have a dream that I win, and you're like, oh yeah, that's not going to happen. If anyone told you that you would have won, what would you have said to them? Because I mean, hey, I believed it. I had that gut feeling, but before halfway, I was like, am I going to be right? Am I going to be wrong? I was like questioning myself, but in the end, it worked. Tell me about it.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say I dream about URS race victories as prestigious as it is.
I get that.
Again, didn't anticipate I'd be racing or at least qualifying. But it was just a really good turnaround, and you don't need to put in masses and masses of practice. You don't need to put too much pressure on yourself to succeed. So yeah, good day in the end.
And what were your tire temperature, or what was the tires at? What did you say it was at again?
-3. I think I just caught it at the end of the race.
-3 what? Tire temperature or was
carcass.
Carcass.
Celsius, that is centigrade.
Oh, tire. Wow.
Not Fahrenheit.
I'm really lost for words for that. That's incredible. As for this victory, though, with the season, this is my last question. I promise you that. I know you're probably like, oh, shut up.
I'm eating my dinner.
Right? But okay.
I haven't even eaten.
My last question with this. You've had a on and off season besides the podium in Saudi Arabia. What does this win mean now? Is this a confidence booster? What's this like for the season?
Yeah, big confidence booster, because I know that last couple of races my quality pace big no, but my race pace a big yes, and I just know where I have to improve. I know what I can do perhaps into next season. Should I be racing? So I hope good momentum from now on.
Most definitely. Burning Man, any questions?
Not really. Just you are goated. -3. Too good. Can't be beaten.
Three. That'll be the number you remember now. 3. Number 12, but -3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
-3.
And
we now
number
need
12,
to
because you did this in
Photoshop the -3
time number
into his car
12.
every time.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, that is it for URS's round 12. The championship gap, by the way, which we did mention, 37 points now. 3 races. Jap's gonna have to gain a lot more than we expected. 33 points per race. I'm gonna need another race like today, but gonna need maybe a Pluto DNF in order for that to happen. Going to Austria next week, and I know people are gonna want outlined, and I'm aware of that myself. That is what we're getting to next, and later soon enough. Anyway, Rhino Con 31, Burning Man in the booth today, joining you. Until next time, until next week, October 30th, our next race, 12 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK. Until then, have a good one.